Before we get started, please like and subscribe. Let me know where you're watching from, and you can support the channel by clicking thanks or joining. Ethan Miller had always believed that fear was simply a matter of imagination, a flicker that the mind exaggerated when darkness stretched too far. But that belief shattered on the night he stepped into Windmere House, an abandoned mansion crouched at the edge of Hollow Ridge. The mansion had been empty for nearly 70 years, yet locals swore its windows were never truly dark. Some said they saw movement inside after midnight. Others claimed the house groaned as though carrying the weight of something unspeakable. But the most chilling rumor of all was about a single room. Room 7 said to breathe when the lights went out. The moment Ethan crossed the threshold, he felt something shift around him. The air didn't just feel cold, it felt aware, as if it had been waiting. Sarah, his older sister by 2 minutes and his partner in every horror documentary they had ever made, lifted her flashlight and swept it across the foyer. Dust shimmered in the beam like disturbed ash. "This place feels wrong," she whispered. "That's the point," Ethan said, but even he couldn't hide the unease tugging at his voice. They were filming the opening episode of their new project, Top 10, The Creepy Room at Night. This wasn't just another abandoned building. They needed something extraordinary, something that would make viewers feel dread crawling beneath their skin. And Windmere House, with its history of disappearances and whispered sightings, was perfect. What they didn't expect was how quickly the house responded to them. As they moved deeper inside, the floorboards trembled under their steps, not from age, but from tension, as though the wood braced itself. The walls seemed to pulse faintly, expanding and tightening with the slow rhythm of breath. Ethan tried to dismiss it, but he couldn't shake the feeling that the house was inhaling them. They reached the base of the staircase. The second floor stretched into darkness, but one thing stood out. A door at the far end, slightly open, leaking a dim bluish glow. Room 7. Sarah tugged Ethan's sleeve. "Didn't the townspeople say that room was sealed?" "They said a lot of things," he answered. "We're here to prove what's real." But even as he said it, he felt a ripple move along the walls. A sound, soft, dragging, echoed from above. Not footsteps, not breathing, something in between. They began filming. Ethan narrated into the camera, trying to remain steady. But the deeper he walked, the more the air resisted him. It thickened, pressing into his chest, wrapping around his legs. Each breath felt borrowed. Room 7 drew closer with every step. The smell hit first damp, metallic, almost like the scent of old blood. Sarah gagged and covered her mouth. The glow leaking from the doorway flickered like dying firelight. Ethan lifted his camera. "Room 7, he whispered. The room where guests claimed the walls moved on their own. The room where every tenant heard breathing at night, even when nobody else was in the house." The door creaked wider. Ethan froze. He hadn't touched it. Sarah hadn't touched it. The door opened for them. Inside, the room was almost empty. A broken dresser leaned against the left wall. The wallpaper had peeled away in long strips, curling like rotten skin. But what captured Ethan's attention was the bed at the center of the room. Thin, rusted, covered with a sheet that looked disturbingly fresh compared to everything else. He stepped inside. The moment he crossed the doorway, the floor beneath the bed shifted. The sheet lifted, then lowered, lifted again, lowered again. Sarah stepped backward until her shoulders hit the wall. "Ethan, please tell me that's airflow." "It's not airflow," he whispered. He moved closer, his camera trembling in his grip. The sheet rose again, higher this time, as if something underneath inhaled deeply. The shape pressing upward wasn't human. It was too round, too smooth, too still. Then the sheet collapsed flat. The room exhaled. A long, wet, shuddering breath. Sarah screamed. Ethan spun around, searching the room, but nothing moved. Nothing except the shadows crawling up the walls. They streaked upward like dark fingers, stretching toward the ceiling before snapping back down. He grabbed Sarah's hand. "We're leaving." But the moment he stepped toward the door, it slammed shut, hard enough that dust burst from the hinges. Sarah pounded on it. "Open, open." The room didn't listen. Ethan turned slowly. The bed was shifting again. The sheet rose not like something was breathing, but like something was standing up beneath it. The shape grew taller. The air grew colder. The walls throbbed, expanding and contracting, a rhythm matching a heartbeat far too large to belong to anything human. A whisper rose from the far corner of the room. "Ethan, soft." Drawn out, hungry, the sheet slid to the floor, but nothing stood beneath it. But the whisper came again. "Ethan, closer." Sarah grabbed him. "Please, please tell me we can break the door." He nodded, though he wasn't sure. Together they rammed their shoulders into the door. The wood groaned. Again. On the fourth hit, the lock snapped and the door flew open. They stumbled into the hallway. The breathing stopped instantly. Silence stretched around them, heavy and watching. When Ethan turned back, room 7 was once again pitch black. No glow, no movement. The door now shut as if it had never opened. Sarah clutched her camera to her chest. "We can't go back in there." Ethan swallowed hard. "We have to. This is our story." But he didn't say what he felt deep inside. That the house had chosen him, that it would let him leave, but only for now, and that the next time he stepped into room 7, something would be waiting with its first real breath. Ethan barely slept that night, even after they escaped room 7, even after they drove miles away from Windmere House and checked into a cheap roadside motel. The sound of that whisper followed him. It curled around the corners of his mind, repeating his name in that strange, stretched voice. He lay awake staring at the cracked ceiling, while Sarah slept restlessly beside him, clutching her camera batteries as though holding onto something real could keep the unreal away. By dawn, his eyes burned with exhaustion. He sat upright, rubbing his temples, but the weight of the house still clung to him like damp smoke. The motel air smelled normal, cheap detergent, stale carpet, but he felt the phantom cold of room 7 lingering in his lungs. Sarah woke slowly, blinking hard. "You didn't sleep either, did you?" "I couldn't," Ethan said. It kept calling. Sarah stiffened. "Don't say that. Don't give it power. It already has power," Ethan murmured. But there was something he didn't tell her, because he didn't want it to be true. When he had finally closed his eyes for a moment, he saw the sheet rising again, not in the room, but behind his eyelids, rising higher, taller, until it wasn't a sheet anymore, but a figure without a face, leaning over him as though waiting for him to breathe. By morning, he knew what they had to do, even though every instinct screamed otherwise. They had to go back. Sarah stared at him, horrified. Absolutely not. We're not stepping one foot inside that place ever again. We have to finish the documentary, Ethan said, and something happened in that room. Something real. People need to know. No video is worth dying for. Ethan didn't respond because he wasn't sure the house had tried to kill them. Not yet. It felt more like it was examining them, testing them, especially him. His phone buzzed suddenly, a number he didn't recognize. Against every instinct, he answered. A single word crackled through the speaker before the line cut. Ethan. He froze. Sarah's face drained of color. Was that? He nodded. The house had found him, even miles away. It whispered through whatever connection it had made the moment he stepped inside, and he knew, without understanding how, that it would keep whispering until he returned. They drove back to Windmere House near sunset. The sun bled across the sky in streaks of red and amber, and the forest surrounding the mansion seemed to tighten as they approached. The house loomed like a shadow waiting to swallow the last light of day, but something was different. The door they had forced open the night before was now perfectly intact. No cracks, no broken hinges, as if the house had healed itself. Sarah shivered. We didn't imagine that. We didn't. The door was destroyed. It repaired itself, Ethan said quietly. They stepped inside. This time, the house didn't wait. The moment the door closed, the floor vibrated once, sharply like a heartbeat beneath their feet. It knows we're here, Sarah whispered, but Ethan was already walking toward the staircase, camera rolling. The second floor was darker than before, as though the shadows had grown thicker, and room 7, its door was closed now, but something pulsed behind it, a warm, living throb. He reached for the doorknob. Sarah grabbed his wrist. Stop, please. Whatever's in there, it wants you. I know that's not a reason to go inside, but Ethan pulled free. He didn't understand why, but he felt drawn to the room with a force stronger than fear, as if a thread tied around his ribs was being pulled gently, insistently, by something waiting on the other side of the door. He opened it. The air changed instantly. It rushed out of the room like a sigh, hot, heavy, and familiar. The sheet on the bed lay flat now, untouched. The dresser, the peeling wallpaper, the cracked window, they were exactly the same as before, but the feeling was different. The room wasn't examining him now. It was expecting him. Sarah stumbled backward. It's alive. Ethan, this room is alive. Ethan stepped inside slowly. I know. As soon as his foot crossed the threshold, the door slammed shut behind him, trapping only him inside. Sarah screamed from the hallway, pounding on the door. Ethan, Evan, open it, open it. Her voice faded, muffled, swallowed by the room. Ethan felt his breath turn icy. The walls began to move, not subtly this time, but visibly. They expanded and contracted with wet, rhythmic sound, like lungs stretching to full capacity. capacity. "Why me?" Ethan whispered. A sound rose from beneath the bed, not breathing this time, whispering, hundreds of voices layered together, yet all speaking as one. "We chose you." Ethan backed into the corner. His camera flickered violently, capturing fractured frames of something moving beneath the bed frame. Something large, too large to fit in the space, but shifting anyway. The sheet lifted. Something was rising. This time, he didn't need the camera to see it. A shape massive, shifting, forming pressed against the underside of reality itself, as though the room was giving birth to a shadow. Sarah's voice was faint outside the door. "Ethan, please." He wanted to answer, but the voices grew louder, filling the room, pressing into his skull. "Stay." The shape grew taller. "Breathe." The walls swelled. "Become." Ethan felt the cold seep into his bones, into his lungs, into his pulse. The room was breathing for him, through him, into him. Then, suddenly, the door burst open. Sarah tumbled inside, grabbing him with both hands. "Run!" The spell broke. The voices shrieked, a roar of 1,000 whispers collapsing into one. The shape beneath the sheet deflated violently, sucking inward like collapsing air. Ethan and Sarah sprinted down the hallway, down the stairs, out the door. But before Ethan crossed the threshold, he felt a cold finger trace the back of his neck. It left a mark that burned, a mark that pulsed, a mark that whispered, "We're not finished." Ethan did not remember collapsing. One moment the door to room 7 slammed shut behind him, sealing away Sarah's scream. And the next, he awakened on the cold wooden floor. The room pulsed softly, as if breathing slow and deep around him. His head throbbed with a pressure he could not explain, like a heartbeat, not his own, echoing inside his skull. Sarah was nowhere in sight, but he heard her pounding on the other side of the door. Each strike vibrated through the walls, muffled as though the room were swallowing the sound. Ethan stood, legs trembling, and scanned the shifting shadows. Room 7 was changing. The walls were no longer the same peeling wallpaper and rotted wood. Something beneath the wallpaper moved slowly, deliberately, like veins expanding beneath skin. The pattern on the wall twisted, spiraling inward toward the center of the room. Every pulse tightened the spiral, as if drawing Ethan closer. "Stop," Ethan whispered, though he didn't know whether he spoke to the room or himself. A whisper answered, "You came back." The voice was everywhere at once, in the ceiling beams, in the floorboards, in his chair. Ethan backed away, but the room shifted with him. The floor slanted, guiding him toward the center. Sarah's voice cracked through the door. "Ethan, answer me." Ethan tried. He opened his mouth, but no sound escaped. The room took his voice. The spiral on the wall glowed faintly, a deep bruised purple. Then a shape emerged, thin, long, bending the wrong way, like a shadow learning to walk. It peeled itself free from the wall with a wet, tearing sound. Ethan fell backward, scrambling on hands and elbows. The figure had no face, only the suggestion of where features might be, like indentations pressed into clay. Yet somehow Ethan felt it staring directly at him. "You belong with us," it whispered. Sarah's pounding grew more desperate. "Ethan, Please say something. Ethan forced out a breath. I'm here. Sarah, I'm... Before the last word left his lips, the figure bent forward. Its shadow stretched across the floor, sliding up the wall and toward the ceiling as if gravity were meaningless. The room's pulse synchronized with Ethan's heartbeat, tightening painfully in his chest. The figure split into 3 shapes, each taller and more distorted. They circled him slowly, their movements soundless. Ethan clutched his chest, gasping, "Stop, please stop." One of the shapes leaned close. Its voice entered his mind instead of his ears. "You were chosen. Do not resist." The house remembers you. The other 2 join, weaving together like strands of smoke, becoming a single towering shadow that enveloped Ethan. The room darkened, his vision blurred. Something cold slid across the back of his neck right over the glowing mark. The pain was blinding. He screamed. For the first time, the house allowed the sound to reach Sarah. She screamed back, rattling the doorknob violently. The shadow retracted suddenly, as if the door's shaking threatened it. Ethan collapsed again, clutching the floor. Then, the wall cracked. Long, deep fractures spread across the wallpaper, revealing a fleshy, pulsing surface beneath. The cracks widened, and something massive pressed against the wall from the other side, stretching it outward like a membrane. A single enormous eye opened behind the wall. It stared directly at Ethan. He froze. The eye blinked sideways wrong. Alien. The pupil dilated, and Ethan felt his mark burn hotter, sinking with the gaze. "Come closer." The eye thundered inside his mind. Ethan crawled backward until he hit the opposite wall. His hands trembled violently. "I don't want this. Leave me alone." But the room responded. "You came back. You are ours now." Then the floor dropped. Ethan plunged, falling through a darkness thick like mud, until he hit wood again. The room was normal, the wallpaper still torn, the bed back in place, the window cracked but empty of light, and the door slowly creaked open. Sarah burst in, tears streaming. She rushed to him, pulling him close. Ethan, are you hurt?" He couldn't answer. His chest felt hollow, as if something inside him had been stolen. Sarah cupped his face. "We're leaving now. I don't care what documentary you wanted. We're done." Ethan nodded weakly, but as she pulled him toward the door, his body froze, not by choice. His legs refused to move. "Ethan," Sarah whispered. He tried to speak, but another voice escaped his mouth, soft, layered, echoing. "We are not finished," Sarah screamed, and behind Ethan, the walls exhaled. Ethan staggered in the hallway, barely conscious, while Sarah clung to him with trembling hands. The house groaned beneath their feet, the walls expanding as if the entire structure inhaled and exhaled in furious waves. Room 7's door had slammed shut behind them, yet its breath followed warm, wet, and disturbingly close. "Ethan, stay with me," Sarah whispered, her voice cracking. Ethan blinked up at her, eyes clouded with something foreign. For a moment, she saw something move beneath his skin like a pulse that wasn't his own. His fingers twitched uncontrollably. "It's inside me," he whispered. Something is inside." Sarah pulled him closer. "We're leaving this house. Now, but the house disagreed. The floor shifted beneath them with a sudden jolt, throwing both of them against the wall. Dust exploded from the wooden beams overhead. A deep rumble vibrated through the hall, like a growl rolling beneath the floorboards. Sarah grabbed Ethan's arm and dragged him toward the stairs. But each step they took, the hallway stretched longer, the far end pulling away like a mirage. The house was bending space, trapping them. "It won't let us leave," Ethan gasped. "Don't say that," Sarah snapped, her voice breaking with fear. "We're getting out of here." She pulled harder, fighting against the stretching corridor. Then, abruptly, the hallway snapped back to normal length, sending them stumbling forward onto the staircase. Sarah didn't hesitate. She hauled Ethan down the steps, but halfway down, he stopped, not by choice, but because something else had seized control. His eyes rolled upward again. "Ethan," Sarah whispered. He tilted his head slightly, as if listening to a voice she couldn't hear. Then he spoke with a soft, layered tone. "Downstairs is waiting." Sarah's blood ran cold. "What's waiting?" But Ethan didn't answer. He simply began to walk slow, deliberate steps toward the ground floor. Sarah followed him, terrified to touch him but too afraid to leave him. As they reached the first floor, the house fell silent. No groans, no whispers, just a suffocating stillness that felt worse than the noises before. Ethan stepped into the foyer. The door they had entered through was gone, not broken, not blocked, gone. In its place was a wall that looked decades older than the rest of the house. Rotted wood, crawling vines, and damp mold. Sarah gasped. No, this can't be happening." Ethan pressed his palm against the wall. "It's sealing us in." Sarah grabbed his shoulders. "Look at me. We will find a way out. Don't listen to whatever it's telling you." But Ethan didn't look at her. He stared past her, as though something or someone stood behind her. "Ethan," she whispered, slowly turning. The chandelier above them swayed gently, without wind, without movement, just swaying, as if something invisible hung from it. Sarah pulled Ethan back. "Don't look at it." But he did, and the chandelier stopped swaying. A figure dangled from it, an impossibly tall shadow, its limbs elongated like wet cloth, its head bowed. The rope around its neck creaked softly as it rotated toward them. Its face was hollow, its mouth open, and the house exhaled again. The force of the breath pushed Sarah and Ethan backward across the floor. Ethan covered his ears as the walls shook violently. "We have to go," Sarah screamed. She dragged him toward the kitchen doorway, anything that wasn't blocked. The old wooden door cracked open on its own, and she shoved Ethan inside. The kitchen was darker than it should have been. The windows showed no daylight, only a thick, swirling blackness pressing against the glass. Cabinets rattled, dishes clattered, and the floor tiles trembled. Ethan's mark glowed brighter. "What's happening to me?" he whispered. The answer came from the walls. "You are becoming." Sarah backed into the counter. No. "You can't have him." The room darkened. Something moved beneath the floor, rippling through the tiles like a massive shape swimming beneath ice. The shadows formed tendrils that reached up, brushing Ethan's legs. He flinched, and the shadows flinched with him. They were connected. Sarah grabbed a broken chair leg and swung it through the tendrils. The shadow recoiled with a sickening shriek. and Ethan let out a gasp as though struck. "It's hurting you when I hit them," she whispered. "They're part of me," Ethan said weakly. The tendrils surged upward again. Sarah pulled Ethan toward the back door. She twisted the doorknob, but it didn't budge. She hit it with her shoulder. Nothing. She kicked it. Nothing. She screamed and hit it again and again until her shoulder burned. Behind them, the shadows rose thicker, forming a humanoid shape. Its limbs elongated, head brushing the ceiling. It reached for Ethan. Sarah stepped in front of him. "Get away from him!" The creature paused. Then very slowly it bent toward her face. Its mouth opened wide, and the voice of 1,000 whispers hissed, "He is ours." Ethan fell to his knees, clutching his head as the mark seared him with unbearable heat. The house shook violently, plaster falling from the ceiling. Sarah grabbed him again. "Ethan, stay with me. Stay with me." He looked up, eyes flickering rapidly between his own consciousness and something darker. "Sarah, don't let it take me." "I won't," she cried. "I won't." She grabbed a rusted metal pan and swung at the shadow's arm. The creature shrieked and dissolved briefly, but Ethan screamed too, collapsing forward. The connection was complete. Hurting the room hurt him. The creature reformed, rising taller than before, its face inches from Sarah's. The house inhaled, and every candle, every window, every wall responded. Ethan felt himself slipping away. His voice emerged in two tones. "One human, one not. It's inside. I can't stop it." Sarah held him desperately, tears streaking her face. "Ethan, fight it, please." But Ethan's body stiffened. He turned slowly toward room 7 upstairs, even though it was not visible from where they stood. "She's calling me," he whispered. Sarah froze. "Who?" Ethan's voice layered with the house's whisper, the one behind the walls. The creature reached for him, and room 7, though 2 floors away, exhaled loud enough to shake the kitchen. Everything went dark. Darkness swallowed everything. For a moment, Ethan couldn't tell if his eyes were closed or if the world itself had ceased to exist. There was no floor beneath him, no ceiling above, only weightless drifting in an endless void. He tried to breathe, but the air felt thick, resisting him like gelatin. Then, a heartbeat, not his, a massive, echoing thump pulsed through the darkness, vibrating his bones. Another thump followed, deeper, closer. Light trickled into existence, like veins glowing beneath stretched skin. Slowly, the darkness peeled back to reveal a corridor. The corridor inside Windmere House, but not as it was before. Every surface floor, walls, ceiling was transformed into an organic texture. The wallpaper had fused into something wet and living. The wooden beams looked like ribs, and the air trembled with each inhale and exhale of the house. Sarah materialized beside him, gasping, "Ethan, Ethan, are you okay?" He nodded weakly, though his body felt heavy. The mark on his neck burned under her touch. She recoiled. "It's hotter," she whispered. "Ethan, something's changing inside you." Before he could answer, the corridor stretched open, elongating like a throat swallowing. A voice seeped from the walls. "Come, the becoming is not complete." Sarah backed away, pulling Ethan. "No, no more. We're not playing along. "We're finding a way out." But the corridor responded instantly. A slamming sound erupted behind them. They turned. Room 7's door now blocked the opposite end of the hall, although the room was located upstairs. It appeared here, fused into the wall like a tumor. The doorknob turned on its own. Sarah grabbed Ethan's hand. "We're not going in," but his body lurched forward involuntarily. "I can't stop, Sarah. I can't stop." His legs moved on their own, carrying him toward the door. Sarah pulled desperately, but invisible threads wrapped around Ethan's limbs, puppeteering him closer. The door opened. A thick fog billowed out, smelling of mold, blood, and something alive. Inside the room was not a room. It was a cavern, a vast, pulsating chamber stretched out endlessly, filled with dark shapes squirming in the distance. The floor pulsed like a giant lung. The air hummed with layers of whispers. Sarah froze. "What is this place?" Ethan's voice came out layered and distorted. "The heart." The chamber brightened. A figure rose from the center. A towering silhouette of darkness, limbs long like ropes, head tilted in unnatural angles. Its body rippled with fluid movements, as though made of smoke trapped in a container. It did not walk, it drifted, and when it spoke, the chamber trembled. "Mark Bearer, you are almost ready." Sarah stepped in front of Ethan. "Stay away from him." The figure paused. Slowly, it turned its hollow face toward her. "You do not belong." Its voice was 1,000 whispers collapsing into one. A tendril shot from its body, slamming into the floor beside her, cracking the pulsating ground. Sarah swung a broken piece of wood she seized from the floor, striking the tendril. It recoiled. So did Ethan. He collapsed, clutching his chest in agony. Sarah fell beside him. "No, no, 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 Ethan. Talk to me." He shook violently, pupils dilating unnaturally. "It's linked to me." The figure drifted closer. "You cannot protect him. His form is merging with ours." Sarah screamed at the darkness. "He's human. He's not yours." The chamber throbbed in anger. The walls contracted like a heart pumping blood. The pulsating ground rippled, and tendrils sprouted from it, reaching, grabbing, slithering. One wrapped around Sarah's ankle, another around her arm. She struggled, smashing them with the wood, but each strike hurt Ethan. The figure extended its hand, or something like a hand. Ethan rose into the air, lifted by invisible force. His back arched, his limbs slack. Sarah screamed his name. "Ethan." His voice came out a whisper of both terror and surrender. "Sarah, help me." His skin glowed faintly as the mark burned brighter, spreading like black veins crawling across his shoulder, neck, and jaw. "No, no. Stay with me, Ethan. Please." The chamber darkened. Then a sound, a distant, rhythmic pounding. Footsteps, human footsteps. Everything stopped. The tendrils froze. The towering figure tilted its head. A man stepped into the chamber from the fog lantern in hand. Detective Rowan. His face was pale with dread, but his voice was firm. "Let the boy go." The chamber reacted violently, shrieking, shaking, walls convulsing as if rejecting his presence. Rowan lifted a strange metal box etched with symbols. "You want him because of the mark, but you forgot something." Rowan growled. He still has a choice. He opened the box. Light blinding, white, unnatural burst outward, illuminating every corner of the chamber. The tendrils recoiled violently, turning to mist. The towering figure howled and shattered like smoke blown apart. Ethan collapsed into Sarah's arms. She held him tightly, crying. His breathing steadied barely. Rowan stumbled toward them. "We need to leave, now, before it reforms." Sarah nodded, helping Ethan walk, but Ethan's eyes slowly opened, and a whisper slipped from his lips. "I hear her." Sarah froze. "Ethan, who?" he whispered again. "The woman behind the walls." The chamber trembled, darkness returned, and the house inhaled. Silence, not the peaceful kind, but a silence so heavy it felt alive. After the chamber's collapse and the burst of white light from Rowan's sigil box, Ethan, Sarah, and Rowan found themselves lying on a different part of Windmere House. The floorboards were intact. The walls did not pulse. A soul. And yet, something beneath the stillness trembled, as if hiding its breath. Sarah shakily sat up. Ethan opened his eyes slowly. His pupils flickered human for one moment, smoky black the next. The mark on his neck throbbed like a heartbeat trapped under skin. "I'm here," he whispered, but she's whispering again. Rowan knelt beside him. "We don't have much time. The house won't stay stunned for long." Sarah helped Ethan to his feet, though he felt heavier than before, his limbs reluctant, as though the house clung to him from within. "Where are we?" Sarah asked. Rowan swept his lantern around the room. "The east wing, but the layout shifts. Rooms don't stay where they belong." Just as he said that, the wall next to them shuddered its wooden planks, stretching like ribs expanding. Sarah flinched. "It's waking up." "No," Ethan whispered, voice trembling. "She's waking up." A chill swept the hallway. Ethan clutched his chest as whispers poured through his mind, soft, feminine, layered with hundreds of echoes. "Come back. You were chosen. You must finish becoming." Rowan placed a firm hand on Ethan's shoulder. "Fight it, boy. As long as you resist, you're still yourself." Ethan nodded weakly, though sweat beaded on his forehead. They made their way down the hallway. The lantern cast long, trembling shadows along the walls. Each step forward seemed to create a new corridor, as if the house formed itself based on where it wanted them to go. "Can we leave now?" Sarah asked quietly. "We can try," Rowan said. "But if the house closes its exits again..." A loud click echoed through the hall. They froze slowly. The hallway door behind them melted, turning soft like wax. The handles dissolved, the wooden frame bending inward as if breathed upon by something hot. Then came the exhale. A hot, moist wind rushed through the hall. Sarah grabbed Ethan's arm. "Run!" They sprinted forward as the hallway behind them collapsed, floorboards curling upward, walls splitting open like gaping jaws. They reached a turn and burst through an old dining room door. The air inside was colder, almost icy. Frost clung to the windows, though no light shone through. The dining table remained intact, covered with dusty plates and ancient silverware, but the chairs were overturned. all except one. A single chair sat at the head of the table. Facing them, Ethan shuddered. This wasn't here before. Rowan aimed his lantern at the chair. Don't go near it. But the chair creaked, and slowly a shape began forming in it. First a silhouette, then a body, then a woman. Her back was turned to them, long black hair cascading down. Her dress was torn lace, soaked in dark stains. Her spine bent at angles no human spine should, and yet Ethan felt drawn to her. Sarah gasped. "Oh God, who is that?" Ethan's voice came out faint. "Her." The woman's head twitched, then rotated, not turning, rotating, all the way around until her face stared at them upside down. Her eyes were hollow sockets, her mouth stretched open in a silent scream. Sarah hid behind Ethan. "Rowan, what is that?" Rowan's voice trembled. "The house's first victim, the one bound to its heart, the woman behind the walls." The woman rose slowly, her joints cracking like snapping branches. She stepped toward Ethan, leaving no footprints, her body floating inches above the ground. Her voice seeped into every corner of the room. "You belong with me." Ethan fell to one knee, gripping his head. "I can hear her. She's inside. She's inside." Sarah ran to him. "Fight her, Ethan, please." But the woman extended a hand, palm upward, and Ethan's body jerked forward as if pulled by invisible hooks. Rowan opened his sigil box again, but this time no light emerged. The box sputtered, dimmed, went dark. No, Rowan shook it violently. "It needs time to recharge." The woman smiled, a horrific, broken smile. "You cannot harm me. Not here. This is my home." The walls groaned. The floorboards trembled. Sarah stood in front of Ethan, shielding him. "You can't take him. You can't." The woman tilted her head, hair dragging across the floor. "He carries the mark. He carries me." Her voice multiplied, echoing like 1,000 heartbeats. Ethan's vision blurred. His hands slammed against the floor as the mark spread across his chest, like veins bursting through skin. "Sarah, I'm losing." "No, Ethan, stay with me." The woman drifted toward them until her hollow face hovered inches away from his. She whispered, "Finish the becoming." Ethan screamed as his body lifted off the ground, limbs hanging helplessly, shadows wrapped around him like a cocoon. His eyes rolled back completely. Sarah clawed at the shadows. "Let him go." The woman's expression twisted. "You interfere too much." A tendril shot from the wall, wrapping around Sarah's waist and yanking her backward. She hit the floor hard. "Sarah!" Rowan lunged toward her, but more tendrils emerged, binding him to the wall. The woman turned her attention fully to Ethan. His body twisted, cracking like old wood. His mark glowed violently. His voice no longer his whispered. "She is becoming through me." Then, a deafening boom. The wall exploded inward. A blast of white light flooded the room. Sarah shielded her eyes. Rowan gasped. The woman shrieked, her form dispersing like torn paper. In the doorway, a figure stood in a coat covered in dust and ash, breathing heavily. A woman's voice said, "Get away from him." Sarah's eyes widened. Who are you?" The newcomer stepped forward, lifting a lantern of pure white flame. "I'm the only one who ever escaped this house." She locked eyes with the entity reforming in the air. "And I came back to finish what I should have done decades ago. Windmere House roared. Windmere House shook as the stranger stepped fully into the shattered dining room, her lantern of white fire burning with an intensity that seemed to wound the darkness. Ethan lay sprawled on the floor, half conscious. Sarah held his head, her hands trembling, while Rowan struggled against the dark tendrils pinning him to the wall. The stranger lifted the lantern higher. Instantly, the shadows recoiled. The white flame cast no normal light. It felt ancient, deliberate, as if it remembered things long before the house existed. "Who are you?" Sarah whispered. The woman lowered her hood. Her hair was silver-streaked, her eyes sharp but haunted eyes that had seen the house from the inside and survived. "My name is Lillian Graves," she said, "and I was the first one to escape this place alive." Rowan's eyes widened. Lillian Graves, the missing woman from the 1975 Windmere incident. She nodded. "Missing? Yes. Taken? Yes. But not dead." The walls groaned, furious at her presence. Ethan stirred, his voice breaking. She's still calling me." Lillian knelt beside him. When she touched his forehead, the mark writhed like something alive trying to escape. "They've marked him deeply. He's closer to merging than I expected." Sarah's face drained of color. "You can help him, right? Please tell me you can." Lillian inhaled slowly. "I can try, but the house won't let him go willingly. Not after choosing him." Ethan gasped, clutching Sarah's arm. "She wants me. The woman behind the walls. She says I'm the one." "No," Lillian snapped sharply. "That voice is not hers. Not really. It's the house. It uses her memory to lure the next vessel." Sarah swallowed. "Next vessel." Lillian's voice hardened. "This house isn't haunted. It's feeding. It chooses someone to become its next heart, its next consciousness. It tried to make me that vessel decades ago." The floorboards beneath them pulsed. Sarah pulled Ethan closer. "Why him? Why Ethan?" "Because he entered room 7, Lillian said quietly. "The house cannot claim someone until they willingly step into the place where the bond begins." Ethan's eyes flickered with agony. "I didn't know. I just felt drawn." Lillian nodded with grim understanding. "So did I." The walls vibrated slow, rhythmic, a heartbeat. Boom, boom. The white flame flickered as the house inhaled. Rowan struggled harder, shouting, "Lillian, we need to move. It's preparing something." She raised the lantern once more. "Get ready." The flame flared. The tendrils pinning Rowan dissolved into smoke. Sarah gasped as the tendril around her waist snapped like burnt thread. But Ethan, he screamed. The shadows around his body tightened, pulling him upward. His spine arched violently, as if the house was trying to extract him from himself. "Ethan!" Sarah screamed, grabbing his legs. But the force was too strong. Lillian slammed the lantern into the floor. A shockwave of white light exploded outward, cracking the walls. Ethan dropped. He didn't move. Sarah collapsed beside him. Ethan, please open your eyes." Slowly, painfully, he did, but his voice was not fully human. "She wants me in the walls." Sarah shook her head fiercely. No, Ethan, look at me. You're here. With us? Lillian stepped closer. We need to get him to the core. Rowan blinked. The core? You mean the chamber we saw before? No, Lillian said. That was only the heart. The core is deeper. It's where the consciousness hides, where the woman behind the walls truly is. Sarah shuddered. So she's real. She was, Lillian said softly, before the house consumed her and used her voice to lure others. If we can reach her spirit, maybe we can sever the house's hold on Ethan. Ethan groaned. I can't walk. Lillian placed a hand on his chest, and the mark recoiled from her touch. Ethan gasped, but the tension in his limbs eased slightly. I can grant you strength for a while, but the house will fight harder the closer we get. Suddenly, the dining room doors slammed shut. The lights died. The ceiling above them stretched downward like melted flesh. Lillian grabbed the lantern. Move. They sprinted into the hallway as the ceiling crashed behind them, splattering black tendrils where they had stood. The corridor twisted violently. Doors appeared and vanished. The house shifted its structure to confuse them. Rowan shouted, "It's rearranging again." Lillian pressed a hand against the wall. I remember this. The house uses its breath to guide its chosen vessel. Ethan, what direction is she calling from? Ethan staggered, eyes unfocused, everywhere. No weight left, no down, below us. The basement, Lillian whispered. No, Rowan muttered. The basement was sealed decades ago. It isn't sealed, Lillian corrected. Just hidden. A loud moan rose from beneath the floorboards, as if something enormous shifted beneath them. Sarah held Ethan tightly. We stay together, no matter what. The group ran as the corridor tilted. The floor buckled, slanting sharply downward. Sarah and Ethan nearly fell, but Rowan caught them. The house inhaled, a deep, thunderous sound. The floor split open behind them, revealing a chasm of swirling black fog. Run, Lillian commanded. They sprinted as the darkness engulfed everything behind them. At the end of the hallway stood a door, a small, wooden, unassuming door, but it beat like a heart. Lillian lifted her lantern. This is it, the hidden path. Ethan trembled violently. I can hear her. She's crying. Sarah squeezed his hand. We're going to help her. And you. Lillian reached for the doorknob. The house shrieked. The lantern's flame flared, as if resisting the scream. Then the door unlocked. A staircase spiraled downward into darkness. Rowan swallowed. After you, I guess. Lillian descended first. Sarah followed with Ethan, his steps shaking with every breath. The stairs closed behind them, sealing them inside. The descent felt endless. The air grew damp, cold, thick with sorrow. The walls around them whispered stories, names, dates, pleas for help. Shadows of former victims brushed past them like desperate hands. Then the staircase opened into a vast underground chamber, a cavern of stone and root. In the center stood a massive wall of living tissue, pulsing faintly. A figure was embedded inside it, half human, half shadow face twisted in eternal agony. The woman behind the walls. Sarah gasped. Oh God. Ethan collapsed to his knees, clutching his chest. She's begging for release. Lillian stepped forward, lifting the lantern. This is where it began, she whispered, and this this is where we end it. The wall opened its eyes, and the chamber screamed. The chamber screamed. A sound like 1,000 wailing voices erupted as the eyes within the living wall snapped open, milky, ancient, filled with an agony so deep it made the air vibrate. Sarah covered her ears, but the scream wasn't heard through noise. It was heard inside the mind. Ethan felt it most. He collapsed, clawing at the stone floor while his pulse thrashed violently. She's inside me, her pain, her whole life. She's showing me everything. Lillian grabbed him by the shoulders. Focus. She isn't attacking you. She's reaching for you. Rowan pulled Sarah behind him. Reaching, it looks like she's trying to kill all of us. But Lillian shook her head. No, the core is aware we're here. And she... Lillian pointed to the woman embedded in the wall. She is waking up. Sarah stared at the figure. The woman's body was twisted unnaturally, arms fused into the flesh of the wall, her hair spreading across it like dark veins. Her eyes blinked again, slow and deliberate. Ethan whispered hoarsely, "She's talking. What is she saying?" Sarah asked. Ethan trembled. "She says she's trapped. She says she didn't choose this. She says she wants to die." The chamber shook again, this time lower, angrier. Lillian stepped forward, raising her lantern. The house won't let her go. She's its anchor, the consciousness that fuels the entire structure. It uses her soul to bind itself to this world. Ethan groaned. "She wants me to replace her." Sarah grabbed his hand. "No, absolutely not." But Ethan continued, voice cracking. "The house wants a new heart, a new consciousness. It wants someone alive, someone it can feed on slowly over years. Someone who stepped into room 7 willingly." Lillian inhaled sharply. "That's why it marked you. That's why it dragged you here." Rowan tightened his grip on his flashlight. "So what do we do? How do we stop the house?" Lillian lowered her lantern. "There is only one way to break the cycle. The anchor has to be released." Sarah's eyes widened. "Released? Meaning?" "Yes," Lillian said quietly. "Her soul has to be freed from the wall." Ethan winced as new images flooded into him. Memories of the trapped woman, her life before the house, her screams when she was consumed, her begging for release over decades that felt like centuries. "She says, please," Ethan whispered. "She doesn't want to be part of this anymore." Sarah's gaze softened with horror. "We can't just kill her. She's already dead," Lillian replied. "What we see is her prison. Her spirit has been trapped in the wall for almost 50 years." The wall throbbed violently. A deep rumble erupted beneath their feet, and shadows seeped out from the cracks in the chamber, rising like smoke. The house had heard enough. Lillian raised her lantern. "Prepare yourselves." The shadows exploded into tendrils, slashing through the air. Rowan grabbed Sarah and ducked as a tendril sliced past, cutting a deep groove into the stone. Ethan stumbled backward, barely avoiding another that whipped toward him. The woman in the wall cried out. Her shriek intensified the chaos, tendrils moving faster, walls contracting. "She's helping us," Ethan shouted. gripping his head. She's trying to weaken the house. Lillian nodded. Then we must hurry. She rushed toward the pulsating wall, lantern glowing, but the shadows thickened around her, forming a barrier. Rowan hurled a broken metal pipe at the tendrils. Move. Open a path. The pipe struck the shadows. They recoiled. Lillian seized the moment and lunged forward. Sarah turned to Ethan. What do we do? Ethan's eyes glowed faintly, his connection to the house deepening. I can feel where she's anchored. The bond is somewhere inside the wall. We need to. A tendril shot out and wrapped around Ethan's leg, yanking him upward. Sarah screamed, grabbing his arms. No, no, no. Ethan dangled as the shadows pulled harder, trying to drag him into the living wall. Sarah, let go. He gasped. If the house wants me, if I resist, it'll hurt you. I don't care. She sobbed. I'm not letting you go. Rowan swung a piece of broken furniture at the tendril, smashing it repeatedly until it snapped like a charred rope. Ethan crashed into Sarah's arms. Lillian shouted from the wall, Rowan, Sarah, I found the anchor point. They looked up. The trapped woman's chest glowed faintly, a mark identical to Ethan's. The mark, it's the bond, Lillian said. If we sever it, the house collapses. Ethan gritted his teeth. Tell me what to do. You can feel her, Lillian said. Reach out to her spirit. Offer her release. Ethan hesitated, then stepped toward the wall. The tendrils hissed but did not attack him. They recognized him, the chosen vessel. He placed his hand against the living tissue. It was warm. It pulsed. It breathed. Ethan inhaled sharply. I can feel her. She's terrified, alone, begging. Sarah clutched Rowan's arm. Trembling, Lillian lifted her lantern. Guide her out. Ethan, she cannot leave unless someone willing takes her place temporarily. Sarah's breath caught. Temporarily, Ethan closed his eyes. I'll do it. No, Sarah screamed. Ethan, you can't. But Ethan stepped closer. His mark glowed. The wall responded. The woman inside looked at him, really looked at him, and for the first time, her expression softened. She whispered, Thank you. The chamber trembled, violently this time. The house screamed in fury. Tendrils erupted from every surface. Lillian shouted, Rowan, protect Sarah. Ethan pressed his forehead against the wall. A bright light spread from the point of contact. The woman vanished in a burst of white smoke. The wall shuddered. The house roared. The shadows convulsed, and Ethan's body went limp. Sarah caught him, sobbing hysterically. Ethan, stay with me. He did not answer. The chamber began to collapse, stone cracking, shadows retreating, the floor shaking violently. Lillian grabbed Sarah's shoulder. We need to go now. But Ethan isn't. He's alive, Lillian said, voice firm, but the transfer weakened him. The house no longer has its anchor. Its consciousness is collapsing. If we stay, we die. Rowan lifted Ethan's body. Let's move. They sprinted toward the staircase, but it was gone. The chamber sealed itself. A new voice echoed from the darkness. Soft, familiar, but wrong. Why did you take her from me? Sarah froze. Ethan's eyes drifted open, but they were no longer his. his. The house had chosen again. The sound that filled the collapsing chamber was not a scream, not exactly, but something colder than fear, older than grief. A whisper stretched across every crack in the stone, sliding over the group like a shadow tasting the air. Why did you take her from me? Sarah froze. Rowan tightened his grip on Ethan's limp body. Lillian raised the lantern, but even the white flame flickered with unease. Then Ethan opened his eyes. They were not his. The irises were clouded, swirling like ink dissolving in water, and something moved behind them, like a presence wearing his vision as a mask. Sarah choked. Ethan. A smile tugged at Ethan's lips, soft, wrong, curious. Ethan is resting, the voice said, though Ethan's mouth barely moved. He is tired. She left, and now someone must take her place. The chamber groaned, as if the house itself breathed through him. Rowan stepped forward cautiously. We're not here to replace anyone. The anchor is gone. You have no power left. Ethan turned those hollow eyes on him. No power. You still do not understand. The house does not end when she ends. She was only the vessel. The house needs a soul, a heart, a mind. It chose him. Long before he stepped into room 7, Sarah shook her head violently. No, no, give him back. The voice leaned through Ethan, soft as a caress. He belongs with me. The chamber shifted. The stone rippled like liquid. Tendrils emerged from the ceiling and walls, writhing to form new shapes. The environment obeyed. Ethan's breath, the house was synchronizing with him. Lillian whispered urgently, "He's becoming the core." Rowan gritted his teeth. "Then we break the bond." "No." Lillian grabbed his arm. "If we push too hard, we'll sever Ethan from his body permanently. The house will claim what's left." Sarah knelt beside Ethan, cupping his face with shaking hands. "I know you're still in there. Ethan, listen to me. Don't let it take you." Something flickered in his gaze, just a moment of clarity. "Sarah," he whispered, but then his eyes rolled back, and the house's voice returned. "You freed her and left me starving, so I must feed." Through him, the ground split. A massive root erupted from the floor, slamming between them and nearly knocking Rowan aside. More roots grew toward Ethan, coiling around his arms and legs, lifting him upright like a puppet. Sarah screamed, "Stop! He is the vessel." The house spoke. "He is the breath. He is the walls. He is mine." Lillian raised the lantern and thrust it forward. A pulse of white light exploded outward. The roots recoiled, screeching. Ethan collapsed, gasping. His voice, his real voice, broke through. "Help me!" Sarah hugged him desperately. "We're here. We're right here." But the house retaliated. The chamber twisted, reorganizing violently. The ground swayed like ocean waves. Lillian, Rowan, and Sarah stumbled, while Ethan floated upward, as if drawn by invisible threads. His body hung in the air, limp. The house now spoke from everywhere. "He is already part of the walls. Part of me." Sarah screamed through tears. "Let him go. He's not yours." A rumbling laugh shook the room. "He came when I called," Lillian shouted to Rowan. "We need to weaken its hold. Buy me time." Rowan grabbed a rusted metal beam from the debris. "Buy time how?" punch the house. Yes, Lillian yelled. Hurt it. Distract it. Rowan cursed under his breath and ran toward the nearest root. He swung the beam with all his strength. The root split open, releasing a gush of black fluid that evaporated into smoke. The chamber roared. The floating Ethan twitched in pain. Sarah cried out, "Stop! It hurts him." Lillian pressed her fingers to the lantern. "We don't have a choice." The lantern glowed brighter. Lillian's eyes dimmed, as if the lantern drew from her life itself. The chamber reacted violently, stone cracking, shadows writhing. Ethan jerked, voice layered with two tones. "Help me, don't help me, let me go, don't let me go." Sarah sobbed. "Ethan, please, fight it." His arms stretched outward, pulled by invisible restraints. His chest heaved. The mark on his neck burned until it lit the room with its glow. Lillian stepped forward slowly. "Ethan, look at me." His head snapped up, controlled by the house. Lillian Graves. The house hissed. "You escaped me before. You will not again." She lifted the lantern. "I didn't escape. You spat me out because I fought harder than you wanted. And now I'm here to finish what you couldn't stop." The house laughed, and the sound cracked the walls. "You brought me a new vessel." Ethan convulsed, screaming in agony. Roots crawled up his legs, one wrapped around his torso, lifting him higher. His back arched unnaturally. Sarah reached out, but Lillian held her back. "If you touch him now, it'll pull you in too." Sarah collapsed to her knees, trembling. "Then what do we do?" Lillian closed her eyes, breathing steadily. "There is one way, a dangerous one." Rowan swung again, slicing another root, buying seconds. Dangerous how? Ethan must confront the house from inside the bond. "We can't sever it externally," Sarah gasped. "Inside? You mean he must go deeper?" "Yes," Lillian said. "Deeper into the link the house created the space between his mind and its will." "How do we get him in there?" Rowan demanded. "He's already halfway," Lillian replied. "We just have to push him the rest of the way before the house fully absorbs him." Sarah's voice cracked. "He could die. He will die if we don't," Lillian said. Ethan's body spasmed violently. His mouth opened, but no sound came out. Just a silent scream. His veins turned black, stretching across his skin like fracturing glass. The mark blazed. The roots tightened. The chamber grew smaller, compressing inward like a throat swallowing. Lillian turned to Sarah. "You're the only one he still responds to. You must talk to him. Pull him inward. Push him toward the bond." Sarah crawled forward. Ethan, look at me. Look at me." His fingers twitched. His lips trembled. "Sarah." "Yes, baby. Yes, keep fighting. Stay with me." His eyes flickered violently between himself and the house's darkness. Lillian raised the lantern toward the mark. "When the bond opens, he'll slip inside." "But Sarah, once he's in, we can't reach him." Sarah wiped her tears. "I'll bring him back." The ground shook harder. The wall behind Ethan split open, revealing an abyss of swirling dark fog. The house spoke through Ethan one last time. "You cannot save him." Sarah grabbed Ethan's face. "I'm not saving him alone. We are saving each other." She pressed her forehead to his. The mark ignited. A blinding light erupted between them. Ethan screamed. The abyss swallowed him whole. Sarah fell backward as the chamber convulsed violently. Rowan ran to her. "Sarah, are you okay?" she gasped, staring at the swirling dark rift. "He's inside." Lillian stepped beside her, lantern dimming. Then the real battle begins. The chamber walls narrowed, shadows converged, and deep inside the bond, Ethan opened his eyes into a world made of memories, darkness, and the voice of the house waiting for him. Silence. But it was not the silence of the physical world. It was the silence of a place where sound did not exist, because reality itself had forgotten how to speak. Ethan opened his eyes. He was standing on a floor that wasn't a floor. Black, glassy, reflecting nothing. The world around him was a vast void, stretching in every direction into infinity. Far above, or perhaps far below, something pulsed like a heart too large to belong to anything living. His voice cracked as he whispered, "Where am I?" A voice answered, echoing from everywhere. Inside, Ethan spun around. Behind him stood a shadow, not a creature, not truly a figure, more like the idea of one. A tall silhouette with no face, no edges, its form constantly unraveling and reforming like smoke. Remembering how to exist, Ethan stepped back. "You're the house. I am the breath, the walls, the memory, the hunger," the voice said, layering over itself. "And you are the chosen vessel." "No," Ethan snapped. "I'm not your anchor. I don't want any part of you." The shadow tilted its head. "You already are." Suddenly, the void rippled. Images burst into existence, floating shards of memory, flickering like broken film. Ethan watched himself entering Windmere House for the first time. Another shard showed him standing in room 7, staring into the darkness. Another showed the moment the mark first appeared on his neck. He reached out to touch the memory shards. They burned his fingers. "You chose me," Ethan whispered. "No," the house corrected. "You came when I whispered." Ethan's chest tightened. He remembered the strange pull, the compulsion, the sensation he could never explain. "You planted that feeling." "I planted nothing. I called, and you answered." Ethan clenched his fists. "I'm getting out of here. Sarah needs me." At her name, the void trembled. The house spoke softly. "She does not belong here." "You do." A pathway formed beneath Ethan's feet, glowing faintly, like veins of pale light. He hesitated, but the alternative was standing still inside eternity. So he walked. Each step made the pathway extend farther, forming as he moved. Behind him, the path disappeared, swallowed by the void. "Where are you taking me?" he demanded. "To show you," the house said, "to help you understand the purpose of the vessel." The world shifted again. Suddenly, Ethan stood in a long corridor, dark, familiar, Windmere House. But not the house as he had seen it. This version was darker, broken, its walls breathing heavily like lungs, trying to gasp their last. A young woman stood at the end of the hallway, the woman from the wall. "Do you see?" the house whispered. She fought, she resisted for decades, and she suffered. The woman turned. Her face was young, human, gentle. Then her skin peeled away, and Ethan saw her bones, her screams woven into the walls. He stumbled backward, Stop, stop. The house obeyed. The hallway dissolved. The void returned. Ethan dropped to his knees. She didn't choose this. She delayed the inevitable. The house replied, and now you delay it. I won't become your heart. A laugh echoed long, hollow. You already are connected. Your mind is inside me. Your body breathes with me. Your pulse matches mine. Ethan shook his head. No, no, I won't let you. You cannot fight forever. A new image appeared, Sarah, standing in the collapsing chamber, tears on her cheeks, calling his name. Ethan's voice broke. Let me go back to her. There was a long silence. Then the house said, you may return if you surrender. Ethan froze. Surrender? Yes. If you give yourself willingly, your consciousness will merge. You will become my heart, and she will be allowed to leave unharmed. Ethan's breathing stopped. No. He whispered, no, that's not a choice. It is the only choice. Ethan closed his eyes, fighting tears. For a moment, he felt weak like a child trapped in a nightmare too large to wake from. But then he remembered something. A hand, Sarah's hand. Sarah pressing her forehead to his. Sarah whispering, we save each other. His heart slammed in his chest. He stood up straighter. I'm not alone in here. The house paused. You are. No, Ethan said. You took her memories, her screams, but her hope that's still with me. Light flickered behind him. He turned. Sarah stood there. Or rather, a memory of her soft, warm, glowing faintly. She smiled. You're stronger than you think. Her voice whispered. Ethan reached out, but his hand passed through the memory. Still, her presence grounded him. The house roared. The void cracked. Lightning of darkness splitting the air. Stop this! The house thundered. You belong to me. Ethan turned, fire in his eyes. I belong to myself. He thrust his hand toward the void. The mark on his neck blazed. A shockwave of white light burst outward. The house screamed an ancient, furious, wounded sound. The void fractured. Cracks spread across the darkness like shattered glass. You cannot destroy me. The house howled. I don't have to, Ethan said through clenched teeth. I just have to break the bond. The cracks widened. The ground split. Light poured in warm, real, alive. For the first time, Ethan saw the house afraid. No! The void erupted. Ethan fell. Through light, through memory, through the breaking bond. And suddenly, he was back. The physical world slammed into existence as he collapsed onto the stone floor of the chamber. Sarah screamed his name and threw her arms around him. Rowan staggered backward. Lillian exhaled in awe. Ethan gasped. Sarah, I'm here. I'm here. But before relief could settle, the house roared. The chamber twisted violently. Cracks raced across the walls. Lillian's lantern flickered the flame, turning red. Oh no, she whispered. Sarah held Ethan tighter. What's happening? Lillian's eyes widened. You broke the bond. But you didn't kill the house. Now it's collapsing, and it will take everything with it. The ground split beneath their feet. Windmere House was dying, and it intended to bring them down with it. Windmere House was dying. The chamber shook so violently that Sarah nearly lost her grip on Ethan. Cracks tore through the stone floor like lightning made solid. Shadows spilled upward through the fractures, swirling and writhing with a furious life of their own. Lillian steadied herself, gripping her lantern as its flame flickered. Wildly white, then red, then white again. We need to move. Now, before the collapse spreads. Rowan hauled Ethan up, slinging the barely conscious man across his shoulder. Which way? Everything's caving in. Lillian scanned the dark chamber. The staircase had vanished. The archways had melted into the walls. The house was rearranging itself faster than they could react. Its ceiling exits, she muttered. It's trying to keep us inside while it dies. Sarah grabbed her arm. You said breaking the bond would destroy its core. Shouldn't it be weaker now? It is, Lillian answered, but something that's dying fights hardest. A thunderous roar burst from deep below the floor. The ground buckled, the walls convulsed, expanding and contracting like lungs struggling for a final breath. Rowan swore, if this place has lungs, we're dead. A fissure split the floor completely. Sarah screamed as she toppled backward, but Ethan's hand shot out just long enough to grab hers. For a moment, just a brief, bright moment. Ethan's real eyes returned. Run, he whispered. Then the floor beneath them dropped. Rowan dove, grabbing Sarah's arm just before she fell into the yawning abyss. Her legs dangled helplessly over the darkness, Ethan still clinging to her hand from where he lay half-conscious. Lillian anchored herself against a jutting stone pillar and extended her lantern. Pull them up, Rowan strained, muscles burning, sweat flying from his forehead. With a final heave, he dragged Sarah and Ethan back to solid ground. But the moment their feet touched the floor, the chamber twisted again. Walls folded into each other. The ceiling melted downward. The floor began sloping, rolling them toward another newly formed drop. It's pulling us into the lower levels, Lillian shouted. Sarah grabbed Ethan's hand. We need a way out. There has to be another path. There is, Lillian whispered. She lifted her lantern. The flame turned blue. A beam of blue-white light shot from the lantern's center, striking the nearest wall. The stone rippled. Then it split open, revealing a staircase spiraling upward. Rowan's eyes widened. You could do that this whole time. No, she snapped. The house suppressed the lantern's power while the anchor lived. Now that the bond is broken, I can use it again, but only barely. The staircase began shaking violently. Lillian shouted, "Go!" Rowan hoisted Ethan again. Sarah ran beside him, gripping Ethan's arm as they sprinted toward the stairs. The moment they stepped onto the first step, the entire chamber collapsed. A tidal wave of darkness surged behind them. Sarah screamed, "Run faster!" They ascended the spiraling staircase, dodging falling debris and fragments of the house's collapsing structure. The darkness climbed after them like a living tide, devouring everything in its path. Halfway up, the stairs cracked. A large section fell away. Rowan jumped, landing on the next intact piece. Sarah followed. but the stone beneath her crumbled. She fell. Sarah. Ethan's voice ripped from his throat, stronger than before. His hand grabbed hers. Only his grip kept her suspended above the abyss. "Don't you dare let go," she cried. Ethan clenched his teeth, his body trembling violently. "I'm not letting anything take you." Lillian extended her lantern, the blue flame stretching outward like a rope. "Grab it." Sarah grabbed the light. It felt warm, solid, and Lillian pulled her back onto the stairs. The house roared with a voice that was not sound, but vibration. A wave of force struck them, knocking all four to the ground. Ethan rolled over, coughing blood. Sarah held his face. "Stay with me, please." He forced a weak smile. "I'm trying." The stairs led them into a long, narrow corridor. One they recognized instantly. Windmere House's upper hallway. Except now, the entire hall was deforming, walls bulging and shrinking like a living creature writhing in pain. Rowan pointed. "The front door. I see it." The front door stood at the far end, flickering in and out of existence like a glitching memory, a sign of collapse. "We have to go," Sarah shouted. They sprinted. The floor buckled, tilting sharply. Sarah nearly lost her balance. Ethan stumbled, still half supported by Rowan. Behind them, the hallway was dissolving, melting into black sludge. Halfway down the corridor, dozens of doors slammed open at once. Windmere House exhaled. A rush of air exploded outward, cold, violent, filled with whispers. The wind hit them so hard that Sarah was thrown forward, skidding across the warped floor. Something crawled out of the rooms. Shadows, human-shaped, twisted, incomplete echoes of past victims the house had consumed over decades. Their faces were smudged, blurred, like smeared ink. Their mouths hung open, silent screams trapped between worlds. Lillian whispered, horrified, "Residual souls. The house is emptying them." Rowan brandished a broken chair leg. "I don't want to hit ghosts." "Are they ghosts?" "No," Lillian said. "They're not alive enough." The shadows lunged. Rowan swung wildly, passing through one. It screeched, its form destabilizing for a moment before regaining shape. "It doesn't hurt them," he yelled. "Then don't fight, run," Lillian commanded. They sprinted the remaining distance. The shadows crawled across the walls and ceilings, reaching for them with elongated arms. One nearly grabbed Sarah's ankle before Ethan kicked at it, his foot passing through but disrupting the form enough to make it recoil. He winced in pain but kept running. They reached the front door. It flickered again, fading halfway to transparency. "No!" Sarah screamed. "It's disappearing." Lillian forced the lantern forward. The flame burst outward, a blinding flash. The front door solidified. "Go!" Lillian yelled. Rowan shoved Ethan through first. Sarah followed. As Lillian crossed the threshold, the lantern's flame extinguished. They stumbled into the cold night outside Windmere House. Fresh air slammed into their lungs like a revelation. Rowan collapsed to his knees. "We made it. We actually made it." But Lillian didn't celebrate. Her eyes were fixed on the house. Sarah followed her gaze. Windmere House was convulsing, walls caving inward, windows shattering outward, the foundation splitting like cracked bone. The structure pulsed with a sickening rhythm, as though something inside it was still alive and resisting death. Ethan leaned against Sarah, barely able to stand. His breath trembled. "It's not over." "No," Lillian whispered. "It's beginning to fight for its final form." The house let out a roar so loud the entire forest trembled. A wave of force exploded outward from the collapsing structure, knocking trees sideways. Sarah shielded Ethan with her body. Rowan screamed, "What is happening?" Lillian stepped back, lantern gripped tightly though it held no flame. "The house is dying, but something trapped within it." She swallowed hard. Does not want to die with it. The ground beneath Windmere House split open, and something enormous began to rise. Windmere House was no longer collapsing, it was transforming. The ground split wider beneath the ruined structure, chunks of soil and stone falling into an expanding chasm. The trees around the clearing bent backward, as if a hurricane were forming underground. Sarah clutched Ethan tightly as the trembling earth shook them off balance again. Rowan grabbed her arm. "Keep moving back. Something big is coming out." Lillian took several steps forward, eyes locked on the mansion's twisted frame. Her lantern extinguished, still emitted faint trails of heat, as though reacting to something ancient awakening. A deep, dragging sound rumbled through the clearing. Then, something enormous scraped against stone. Sarah's breath froze in her lungs. A shape rose from the ruins, first a massive, bone-white structure, then another and another, unfolding like an insect shedding its cocoon. But it wasn't bone. It wasn't stone. It was something between those. Organic architecture. A rib cage built from living material. Rowan whispered, "Oh my God." Yeah. The creature, no. The entity kept rising. A towering mass of architecture fused with flesh. Shifting hallways, windowless walls, rib-like arches, and buried inside of it, glowing faintly, hundreds of silenced faces, warped into the living material as if frozen mid-scream. Sarah staggered back. The house, it wasn't just a house. It was a shell. Ethan coughed weakly. "It's the being inside. It used the house like a skin." Lillian whispered, "No, worse. The house itself was part of it. A small portion. What we're seeing now is its full form." The entity stood fully revealed, a towering, cathedral-like creature, its exterior shifting like breathing stone. It screamed, a resonant, low-frequency groan that shook the earth. The sound pierced bone, vibrating Sarah's ribs. Ethan pressed his palms to his ears. "It's calling. It's calling for me." "No!" Sarah grabbed his face, forcing his eyes to hers. "You broke the bond. You're free from it now." But Ethan shook his head. "I broke my part, not its part." The creature leaned forward. The earth buckled beneath its weight. Lillian raised her lantern even without flame. It reacted violently, glowing dull red. It knows Ethan weakened it. "It wants him back," Rowan cursed. "Over my dead body." The creature moved, not by walking. Its lower mass drifted, sliding effortlessly across the fractured ground, propelled by unseen force. The shifting architecture that made up its body rotated, rearranged, forming spiraling corridors and pulsating chambers within its torso. It reached toward them, a tendril thick as a fallen tree extended from its surface, not made of flesh but of warped hallways and twisting wooden beams. Sarah screamed, "Move!" They dove aside as the giant tendril slammed down where they stood moments before. The impact sent a shockwave ripping through the clearing, flattening bushes and cracking the earth. Ethan fell to his knees, clutching his skull. "It's inside my head again. It's forcing its voice." Lillian rushed to him, placing her hand over the mark on his neck. Her touch sizzled. The lantern's faint red glow traveled into her hand. Ethan gasped in relief as the noise in his mind lessened. "I can shield him," Lillian said, straining, but not for long. Rowan grabbed a fallen branch, not as a weapon, but as leverage. "We need distance. We won't survive out in the open." Sarah nodded. "Into the forest. The trees might slow it down." Lillian hesitated, then nodded. "Go!" They ran. Branches whipped their faces. The ground shook with every movement of the entity behind them. The forest seemed to bend away from the creature's approach, trees uprooting as if trying to flee. But the entity did not chase them directly. Instead, it grew. Its architecture expanded outward like spreading roots. Hallways extended across the forest floor. Doorways began appearing in tree trunks, on stones, even in mid-air manifestations of its influence leaking into the world. Rowan gasped. "It's rebuilding itself," Lillian replied breathlessly. "It's reshaping reality. It wants to create a new body in the open." Sarah shouted, "How do we stop something like that?" Lillian didn't answer, because she didn't know. They reached a ridge overlooking the clearing. From here, they had a full view of the monstrous being. It was constructing new limbs, new floors, new rooms, a castle of living stone and trapped souls. Ethan stared in horror. "It's building a new house around itself." "No," Lillian's voice cracked. "It's building a kingdom." The entity pulsed again, the shockwave knocking all four of them to the ground. Sarah coughed violently. "We need a plan. Anything." Lillian slowly rose to her feet, gripping the dead lantern. "There's only one way to kill something like this." Rowan groaned. "Please don't say go inside it." "Ah." Lillian stared at him. Rowan's face fell. "Oh, hell. No. It's a being of structure," Lillian explained. "Its power is internal. All the energy that fuels it, all the consciousness. Its heart is still inside." Ethan whispered, "Like the woman in the wall." Sarah's skin went cold. "You're saying there's a core inside that thing?" "Yeah," Lillian replied. "A true core this time. Not a hostage. A piece of itself." Rowan folded his arms. "Let me guess. We break that. We kill it." "Yes." Sarah looked up at the towering creature, its multi-chambered body forming new architecture every second. "That thing is bigger than a skyscraper," she said. "How do we even get inside?" Lillian lifted the lantern. It sparked. A single white flame flickered back to life. For the same reason it wants Ethan, she said. The bond may be broken, but it still recognizes him. If he gets close, it will open to him. Sarah grabbed Ethan's arm immediately. Absolutely not. He just escaped. Lillian looked pained. I know, but without him, we will die. And the world might follow. The ground trembled again. The creature turned toward them, sensing something, someone. Ethan stepped back, terrified. I can't go inside it again. I can't. Sarah held him tightly. Her voice shook, but her grip did not. We'll go with you. You won't be alone. Rowan exhaled shakily. Well, if we're doing this, someone better bring snacks. Lillian almost laughed, despite the terror. Stay close and stay quiet. The creature's massive form loomed over the ridge now, its architecture spiraling outward like roots seeking hosts. They stood as a group, bruised, exhausted, terrified. Ethan looked at the others. Sarah, Rowan, Lillian, his family in this nightmare. He inhaled shakily. Okay, let's end this. The creature's chest opened, revealing a glowing passageway. Ethan stepped forward, and Windmere House invited him inside. The moment Ethan stepped toward the glowing passage inside the creature's chest, the air around him trembled. The opening pulsed like a throat waiting to swallow, and the light shifted in slow waves, inviting, yet unnatural. Sarah gripped his wrist. We go together, every step. He nodded, though fear tightened every muscle in his body. Rowan muttered, if this thing has a digestive system, I swear I'm turning around. But he didn't turn. None of them did. Lillian lifted the lantern. Its newly reborn white flame flickered, sensing danger, sensing purpose. Stay behind me. The lantern will react before the creature does. They stepped into the opening. Instantly, the world outside vanished. The light dimmed, and the walls closed around them, forming a narrow tunnel woven from shifting wood, stone, and something disturbingly organic. The floor beat faintly, like a distant heartbeat. Sarah whispered, "It's alive. Everything is alive." Ethan swallowed hard. We're walking inside its body. Rowan made a strangled sound. Fantastic. Exactly how I wanted to spend my weekend. The passage shifted as they moved. Corridors formed where there were none. Old paths collapsed behind them. The creature wasn't just letting them enter, it was guiding them deeper. Ethan felt it, a tugging in his chest, a pull not physical, but inside his mind, the creature calling him back into its consciousness. Sarah noticed his trembling. You okay? Not really, he whispered. It's showing me things. The walls flickered. Images formed, blurry visions burned into the creature's memory. A woman wandering Windmere House decades ago. A man before her. A child before him. Faces swallowed. Trapped. Erased. Sarah gasped. These are victims. Lillian touched the wall, and it pulsed violently. It remembers every soul it took. The house was just the mouth. This is the brain. The passage opened into a wider chamber. A circular room, rib-like arches overhead. A pool of shimmering black fluid in the center. Ethan stepped forward involuntarily. I know this place. Rowan grabbed him. Nope. Whatever that is, We're not touching it. Lillian's eyes widen. This is the resonance pool. It's how the creature communicates with anything it chooses as a vessel. Sarah tightened her hold on Ethan. We stay together. No one touches that. But as they tried to cross the chamber, the floor split. Black tendrils shot upward, wrapping around Rowan's ankle, yanking him into the air. "Ah, no, 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 put me down," he screamed. Sarah lunged, grabbing his arm. More tendrils sprouted. Ethan acted before he could think, placing his hand against a wall. The creature froze, its tendrils loosened. Trembling, Lillian stared at Ethan. "It still recognizes you. You can override it." Rowan fell to the ground, gasping. "Good to know you're the key to not dying." The chamber rumbled, a doorway open, and behind it, darkness. Not absence of light, but a presence. Cold, watching, ancient. Ethan felt it immediately. "The core," he whispered. "It's close." Lillian raised the lantern. "This is the deepest we've ever been. Stay alert." They moved through the doorway. The new corridor was tighter, pulsating rhythmically. The heartbeat-like thrum grew louder the deeper they went. Sarah pressed close to Ethan, keeping him steady. "Talk to me," she whispered. "Stay here. Stay with us." Ethan nodded, but the tug inside him strengthened. The creature wanted him. It was pulling him like gravity. Finally, they reached a vast chamber, a cathedral of living tissue and shifting stone. Columns formed from fused bodies, a ceiling stretching endlessly upward. The air thick, vibrating with power. At the center hovered the core, a massive sphere of flesh and crystal-like material, rotating slowly. Within it, lights flashed like thoughts firing. Ethan staggered. "I hear it. It's speaking." "What is it saying?" Sarah whispered. He shook uncontrollably. "It's saying, I was supposed to be the replacement. It's angry I broke the bond." Lillian stepped forward cautiously. "If we destroy the core, the creature dies, but it won't go quietly." The sphere pulsed. A low note filled the chamber, felt more than heard. Then the floor shattered. Tendril-like limbs erupted from beneath, forming towering figures, massive guardians shaped from the creature's own material. They had no faces, no eyes, only jagged openings shaped like silent screams. Rowan grabbed a broken metal spike from the floor. "We fighting these things. They're not alive," Lillian said. "Just constructs. Hit them hard." One guardian lunged. Rowan dodged, slamming the spike into its side. The construct burst into black mist. Sarah grabbed Ethan and pulled him behind a column. "You can't fight. Stay behind me." Another guardian charged. Lillian thrust the lantern forward. Its flame burst into a beam of white energy. The guardian dissolved instantly, but the core reacted. Its rotations sped up. The chamber shook. Ethan cried out, clutching his head. "It's trying to pull me inside again." "No!" Sarah grabbed him, anchoring him physically and emotionally. More guardians formed. Rowan shouted, "We can't fight them forever." Lillian's eyes flashed. "We don't need to. We only need Ethan to touch the core." "What?" Sarah shouted. "No, it'll absorb him. Not if the lantern is used at the same time," Lillian said. "Its light disrupts the creature's consciousness." Ethan looked at Sarah, scared, shaking, determined. "We came here to finish this." Sarah shook her head violently. "I won't let you die." He cupped her face. forehead touching hers. We save each other. Remember, tears welled in her eyes. I'm coming with you. They ran. Guardians swarmed. Rowan tackled one aside. Go! I got this one. Lillian blasted another with the lantern. Sarah and Ethan raced toward the core. When they reached it, Ethan hesitated. The sphere hovered inches from him, radiating impossible power. Sarah grabbed his hand. Together, he nodded. They touched the core. Instantly, light exploded. The creature screamed an ancient roar of agony. The chamber convulsed. The core cracked. The world around them shattered into blinding white, and everything went silent. White. That was the first thing Ethan felt, an endless, engulfing white that wasn't light, but a kind of nothingness, vast and silent. He floated in it, weightless, breathless, suspended like a thought half-formed. Then sound returned, a distant thrum, a heartbeat, not his, the creature's. Ethan gasped and opened his eyes. He was lying on solid ground. Except the ground wasn't stone or earth. It was a flat plane of glass-like flesh, translucent, glowing softly from within. Above him stretched a sky of swirling red and black clouds, pulsing like veins across the heavens. Ethan, Sarah's voice cut through the haze. He sat up too fast and dizziness washed over him. Sarah knelt beside him, gripping his shoulders. Rowan crouched nearby, panting, and Lillian was already on her feet, lantern clutched tightly. He managed a breath. Where are we? Lillian answered first. Inside what's left of its mind. Ethan blinked. We were inside its body before. This, Lillian said softly, is deeper. They looked around. The landscape was a nightmare. Towers built from rib-like structures jutted from the ground at impossible angles. Rivers of shadow flowed between them, twisting like smoke-filled water. Above, the sky trembled, as if something massive crawled just beneath its surface. Rowan stood. So, we're inside a dying monster's brain. Not dying, Lillian corrected. Thrashing. The ground shook violently, rippling beneath their feet like skin reacting to a needle. Ethan grabbed Sarah's hand. Did we destroy the core? We broke it, she said. But something else happened when it cracked. We were pulled in before the explosion finished. Lillian nodded grimly. That means part of its consciousness is still active, and it trapped us inside. Rowan groaned. Fantastic. So now we're stuck in a psychic stomach. A distant roar rose and fell across the horizon. Sarah shivered. That doesn't sound like dying. It's fighting, Lillian said. And we're inside the battlefield. The sky flickered, then tore open. Something massive shifted behind the clouds, its silhouette stretching across the entire horizon. A colossal form twisted, its outline suggesting limbs. Wings, corridors, architecture, and anatomy fused into one writhing titan. Ethan felt a spike of pain behind his eyes. A whisper cut into his mind. You broke me, but I will not fade. He gasped, clutching his temples. Sarah cupped his face. Hey, stay with me. Look at me. Ethan. The whisper faded slowly. Lillian looked at him sharply. It still has a link. Faint, but present. It's going to try to use you again. Ethan shook, but forced himself upright. Then we finish it. We find whatever's left and destroy it. But how? Rowan asked. We don't even know where left is. Lillian pointed to the horizon, where the sky tore open. A single structure hovered, an enormous floating sphere of fractured crystal and flesh. Shards hovered around it, rotating slowly, dripping with luminescent fluid. It pulsed weakly, like a failing heart. "That," she said, "is what remains of the core." Sarah swallowed hard. "Then that's where we go." They began to walk. The ground twisted beneath their feet, forming pathways as if responding to their presence. The rivers of shadow slithered alongside them, reflecting distorted versions of their faces. Some of the reflections moved even when they didn't. Rowan winced. "I hate this place," Ethan whispered. "It's not a place, it's a mind unraveling." They walked for what felt like minutes or hours. Time bent here, stretching and compressing unpredictably. Lillian kept glancing at her lantern, watching the flame grow dimmer. Finally, they reached a bridge of bone, spanning across a bottomless void. The floating core hovered beyond it. Sarah took Ethan's hand. "We cross together. No one lets go." They stepped onto the bridge. Halfway across, a crack split the sky. A figure dropped from above, landing with a thunderous impact. It was tall, human-shaped, but wrong. Its body was a door frame of flesh and wood, arms like beams, legs jointed backward. Its head was a doorway, an actual doorway with darkness spilling from within, rippling like liquid shadow. Sarah stared. "What in God's name?" Lillian inhaled sharply. "A memory construct, a guardian built from the creature's last coherent thoughts." The doorway head tilted. Ethan felt its attention cold. "Ancient vessel." It groaned, though its mouth did not move. "Return to the throne." He stepped back. Sarah shielded him. "Over my dead body," she hissed. The guardian lunged. Rowan shoved himself forward, swinging a massive bone shard he'd grabbed from the ground. It smashed into the guardian's torso, but instead of breaking, the construct split open like rotten wood. Black mist poured out. The guardian reformed instantly. Rowan screamed. "Oh, come on." Lillian thrust the lantern forward. A burst of pale light erupted. The guardian shrieked a horrible metallic wail as pieces of its frame cracked and melted. But the lantern's flame flickered violently, nearly dying. Lillian staggered. "It's too strong here. The lantern is losing power." The guardian swung an arm like a collapsing wall. Rowan barely dodged. Ethan clenched his fists. "It wants me, not you." He stepped forward. Sarah grabbed him. "Ethan, no." But he looked at her calm, resolute. "It won't stop unless I confront it." He turned to the guardian. "If you want me, come get me." The guardian froze. The doorway on its head widened. A force like gravity pulled toward it. Rowan and Sarah were almost dragged off their feet. "Ethan, stop!" Sarah screamed, but Ethan stood firm. Lillian shouted, "Ethan, use the bond against it. You broke its control. You can break its commands." Ethan dug his heels into the bone bridge. The force intensified. Pulling harder, he shouted into the pulling wind, "I am not your vessel." The bridge cracked. The guardian's doorway rippled, and then a shockwave burst outward. The guardian imploded. collapsing into shredded wood and flesh before dissolving entirely. Sarah rushed to Ethan, slamming into him with a cry, "Don't ever do that again." He hugged her tightly. "I'm sorry. I didn't know if it would work." She punched his arm. "That's exactly why you shouldn't have tried." Rowan collapsed on his back. "Can we take a nap before the next nightmare shows up?" But Lillian pointed ahead. The core floated only a few steps away, shattered, weak, beating faintly. "Once we touch it," she said, "whatever remains of the creature will attack us all at once. We need to be ready." Ethan took Sarah's hand. "I'm ready if you're with me." She nodded. "Always." They stepped forward. The core glowed brighter, the sky darkened, the ground shook, and from every direction, whispers rose, thousands of voices, victims, memories, echoes. "Free us. End it. Finish what we could not." Ethan reached out, so did Sarah, so did Rowan, and finally, Lillian. Their hands touched the core. It pulsed once, a deep, resonant beat. The final battle began when their hands touched the fractured core. The world twisted. A blast of force surged outward, not like an explosion, but like being turned inside out. Ethan felt his bones dissolve, reform, then dissolve again. His vision splintered into thousands of shards, each showing a different memory. The mansion, the forest, the victims, the woman trapped in the wall, himself lying unconscious, Sarah screaming his name. Then everything slammed back together. He dropped to his knees. They stood in a colossal chamber far larger than anything they had seen inside the creature before. It felt like the heart of a universe, a void swirling with light and darkness. Platforms of bone and stone floated in midair, connected by strands of trembling sinew. Sarah staggered beside him, coughing. Where are we now?" Lillian looked around, lantern flickering wildly. "This is the core's inner sanctum, the seat of its consciousness." Rowan groaned. "So we're in its brain throne room." In simpler words, "Yes," Lillian said. A tremor rolled across the chamber. Ethan stood unsteadily. The fractured core they touched had vanished, replaced by a swirling vortex in the air above them, beating like a second heart. Sarah clutched his hand. "Ethan, something's coming." The air shattered. A figure stepped out of the vortex, towering, humanoid, but made entirely of rooms, doors, hallways, staircases. Its torso was a hallway. Its arms were beams. Its fingers were doorknobs that turned restlessly. Its head a pulsating door opened slightly, leaking darkness. Ethan's blood froze. The creature spoke with many voices layered into one. "You shattered my vessel. You broke my form. But your mind remains mine." The ground cracked under its steps. Sarah pulled Ethan behind her. "You're not taking him." Its many-voiced roar rattled the chamber. "He is the final piece." Ethan felt a pull at his thoughts, like hooks sinking into his memories. He forced out a breath. "No, not again." Sarah grabbed his face, eyes fierce. "Stay with me. Stay here." Lillian raised her lantern, the flame nearly white-hot. Get ready. It's manifesting a final avatar. This is the heart of its being. Rowan picked up a jagged shard of stone. All right, big hallway monster, let's dance. The creature extended its arm. 5 miniature doors appeared on its palm, then burst open. Black silhouettes poured out shadows shaped like past victims, their forms bending unnaturally. Sarah whispered in horror, "It's creating fighters from the memories we saw." Lillian nodded. "Those are echoes of the absorbed souls. They cannot be saved now." The shadows charged. Rowan swung his stone, smashing through one. It exploded into dust. Another leapt at Sarah. Lillian thrust her lantern forward, a beam of light slicing the shadow apart. But more came. Dozens, then hundreds. Ethan felt the monster's voice claw into his skull. "Return to me. Complete me." He screamed, falling to his knees. Sarah dropped beside him, shielding him with her arms. "Don't listen, Ethan. Look at me. Look at me." He did. The chamber faded slightly as her voice anchored him. Lillian shouted, "We need to get closer to it. We can't fight endless echoes." Rowan yelled back, "Then lead the way." They forced their way through shadows, sprinting across floating platforms toward the towering creature. The monster grew larger with every step, as if the chamber itself expanded to contain it. When they reached the nearest platform, the creature lowered its hallway torso and roared, "You are mine." Its doorhead opened. A black vortex surged outward. Sarah was nearly pulled in. Rowan dragged her back at the last second. Ethan stood still. The pull didn't move him. Instead, the vortex bent toward him, as if greeting him. Lillian gasped, "It's still bonded to you. Ethan, you can control it." The creature reeled at her words. "He belongs to me." Ethan took a trembling step forward. "Not anymore." He reached into his mind toward the place where the creature used to whisper. He found it, a thread, faint, burning, still connected. He grabbed it and pulled. The creature screamed. Its body shook violently, rooms collapsing, doors slamming shut, hallways twisting into knots. Sarah shouted, "Ethan, what are you doing?" He strained, taking back. "What's mine?" The bond snapped. A shockwave blasted through the chamber, vaporizing dozens of shadow soldiers instantly. The monster staggered. Ethan fell to one knee, chest heaving. "I severed it." Lillian stared. "You just removed the last tether. Now it's truly vulnerable." The creature roared, no voices now, just one raw, primal scream of fury. It leapt. The entire chamber warped as it descended on them. Rowan yelled, "Move." Platforms snapped, stone shattered. The monster slammed into the ground where they stood a moment earlier. They regrouped on another floating ledge. Lillian thrust the lantern toward the creature. The flame reacts to its consciousness. If Ethan draws its focus, I can strike directly. Sarah objected instantly. "No!" He almost died 5 times already. Ethan touched her cheek. "We end it now, or we never leave this place." Sarah's eyes glistened. "Ah, then I stay with you." They faced the creature creature together. Ethan shouted, "Hey, over here." The monster's head swiveled violently toward him. Its door head opened wide. Ethan stepped forward. Lillian charged, her lantern, white fire roaring. Rowan hurled stones to keep shadows away. Sarah held Ethan's hand. The monster lunged. Everything moved at once. Ethan focused every thought, every memory, every moment of pain the creature caused him, and hurled it back through the broken bond. The monster screamed. Lillian fired the lantern's beam directly into its open head. White fire met black void. The chamber ignited. The creature convulsed, its body unraveling, doors exploding, walls collapsing, staircases twisting into dust. Sarah screamed, "Ethan!" But Ethan didn't scream. He stepped forward, pushing harder, forcing the monster's consciousness to break. With a final, agonized roar, the creature imploded. A shockwave of bright light expanded across the chamber, and the world disappeared. White faded, slowly, like fog peeling away from a ruined battlefield. The blinding light dissolved, revealing shapes, textures, air returning to Ethan's lungs in ragged, uneven breaths. He blinked once, twice. The world snapped back into place, but it wasn't the world he expected. He lay on cracked ground, smooth like polished bone, yet fractured into spiderweb fissures that pulsed faint amber light. Above him, a sky of swirling gray, neither solid nor fluid, as though the creature's collapsing consciousness had created a world unsure if it should exist. "Ethan!" Sarah's voice cut through the haze, desperate and trembling. He sat up, pain stabbing his temples just in time for Sarah to crash into him, wrapping her arms around his shoulders. Rowan stumbled behind her, covered in dust and shaking. Lillian stood a short distance away, lantern dim but still flickering. "You're alive," Sarah whispered against his neck. "Thank God, you're alive." Ethan held her tightly. "I thought when everything exploded, I thought we were gone." Lillian exhaled shakily. "We would have been, if not for the creature's final reflex." Rowan blinked rapidly. "Final what now?" Lillian gestured around them. "This place is the collapse zone, the last fragment of its consciousness holding together as it dies. It didn't release us. It pulled us into the last room." Rowan groaned. "Great! A monster with a dying brain still wants to decorate." Ethan stood, unsteady. "Where's the creature now?" As if summoned by his words, the sky rippled. A distant groan rolled through the air, low, trembling, ancient. The fissures on the ground glowed brighter. The world lurched sideways, distorting as if made of cloth being wrung out. Lillian steadied herself. "It's collapsing." When the conscious core was destroyed, the rest of its essence began unraveling, but something still anchors it. "Someone." Ethan froze. "Someone." Sarah touched his arm. "What does she mean?" Before Lillian could answer, the world split open. A jagged tear ripped through the horizon, revealing a swirling black void. And inside it, a figure, a human figure, suspended in the darkness like a puppet on invisible strings. Ethan gasped. No, it was him, or rather a version of him. A phantom double, eyes hollow, chest open, tendrils of black energy threading through its limbs like strings. Rowan whispered, "Doppelganger Ethan." "No, nope." I'm out. Someone sedate me. Lillian shook her head. It's not a copy. That is the imprint left from the bond the creature made with Ethan. When he severed the connection, it didn't erase the imprint, it tore it loose. And now that imprint is trying to become the new host. Sarah's face drained of color. You mean that thing wants to live? Lillian nodded grimly. It wants to replace Ethan because the creature is dying. The imprint is trying to rebuild the consciousness using Ethan's stolen memories. Ethan stepped forward, so we destroy it. The ground shook violently, as if rejecting the idea. From beneath the fissures, pillars of bone rose, reshaping the battlefield into a circular arena. The phantom Ethan twisted its head toward them, its mouth open. A voice poured out. Ethan's, not the creature's, but a fusion of both. You shattered the master. Now I inherit the throne. Sarah stepped back, gripping Ethan's hand. It speaks like you. The phantom extended a hand. Black veins tore across the sky. Ethan doubled over, screaming, "Ethan!" Sarah grabbed him. Lillian rushed forward, lantern blazing. The phantom recoiled from the light, hissing like boiling water. Rowan yelled, "Hit it with the lantern." Hit it again, but the imprint adapted. Its shape expanded, limbs elongating, extra joints bending outward. Its torso unzipped like a door, revealing an abyss inside. Sarah whispered, horrified, "It's becoming the creature." "No," Ethan gasped. "It's becoming what the creature wanted me to be." The air snapped. The phantom charged. Rowan barely shoved Ethan aside. The ground where Ethan had been standing split open, a clawed hand bursting upward. The phantom twisted its arm, elongating it into a blade of bone. Lillian thrust the lantern toward it. The flame sputtered. "It's draining the light," she cried. Sarah pulled Ethan toward a rising bone platform. "We need height." They climbed. Below them, the phantom launched tendrils of black energy into the arena walls. Bone pillars snapped and reformed into spires, shaping themselves into a grotesque mirror of Windmere House. Rowan shouted, "Why is it building the house again?" Ethan stared, horror rippling across his face. "It's not building a house. It's building a vessel, a mind palace, a throne." Lillian gasped. "It's preparing to overwrite reality. If it succeeds, it will imprint itself onto the world like Windmere House did decades ago." Sarah turned to Ethan. "How do we stop something that knows your memories, uses your thoughts, and speaks your voice?" He closed his eyes and suddenly understood. The bond is gone, but the imprint still came from me. It is made of stolen fragments. That means if I confront it directly, it can't maintain the form. Sarah grabbed his hands. "We do this together." He shook his head. "No, if you're near me, it will use your fear to attack. I have to go alone." She stepped back, fire in her eyes. "Absolutely not." He cupped her cheek. "Sarah, it's me it wants, not you. I end this, for both of us." The phantom screeched, twisting its body into a towering shape. It slammed into the bone spire, tearing it down. The world began collapsing faster. Lillian shouted, "Ethan, whatever you'll do, do it now." Sarah kissed him hard. "Come back." back to me." He nodded, then jumped off the platform. He landed on a shifting bone slab, sprinting toward the phantom. Shadows lashed at him. Memories his own flashed around him like shards of glass. "Join me," the phantom thundered, "or be erased." "I choose neither," Ethan roared. He hurled himself at the phantom, tackling it. The world ruptured. He fell into darkness and into his own mind. A void, a mirror. The phantom stood across from him, now perfectly human, his face, his posture, his voice. "You cannot kill me," it said calmly. "I am you." Ethan stepped closer. "No, you're the part of me." The creature twisted. "And I'm done with you." The phantom lunged. They collided. Light and shadow exploded. Their memories crashed into each other. Sarah's smile, Rowan's laughter, Lillian's lantern, the woman in the wall, the first night in the mansion, the creature's whispers. Then Ethan reached deep and tore the phantom's hand from his chest. A scream shattered the void. The phantom dissolved into dust. The world shook, collapsing as the imprint died. Ethan fell, and suddenly he gasped awake on the bone floor. Sarah ran to him. "Ethan," he sat up. The world was dissolving. Bone cracked into dust. The sky tore open into blue light. Rowan shouted, "I think it's over." Lillian smiled weakly. The creature, the imprint. "Everything is finally ending." Ethan squeezed Sarah's hand. "Let's go home." The world shattered into white, and they fell upward into freedom. The wind hit first, a rushing, roaring wind that tore through Ethan's senses as the world of bones and collapsing memory dissolved into pure white. His stomach lurched, his vision spun. Then he landed hard. Grass cushioned his fall, soft and wet with morning dew. A cool breeze brushed against his skin. The air, real air, filled his lungs, fresh and earthy. Birds cried in the distance. Leaves rustled. Nature, not warped, not bleeding, not whispering. Real. Ethan's heart hammered. "Ethan," Sarah's voice broke behind him. She toppled through the white light a second later, rolling into him. Rowan followed, crashing face first into the grass with a loud groan. Last came Lillian, stumbling out with her lantern, which flickered once and then went dark. The portal of white behind them snapped shut with a soft thud like a final exhale. Silence followed. The forest around them was peaceful. Morning sun filtered through tall pines, washing everything in pale gold. Sarah pushed herself up, blinking at the world. "We're back." Ethan could hardly speak. "It's real. This is real." Rowan stood, patting himself down. "I am never ever going inside anything's mind again. If I even look at a house funny after this." "Somebody slap me." Sarah let out a broken laugh, but Lillian did not. She stared ahead, her expression frozen. Ethan followed her gaze and his breath caught. Windmere House was gone, not destroyed, not collapsed, not burned. Gone. The clearing where it once stood was empty, nothing left except grass, dirt, and a faint circular imprint in the soil like a scar in the world where the house had been carved out. Sarah exhaled shakily. It really ended, Rowan stepped closer, nudging the dirt with his boot. Feels weird, like the place forgot something. Ethan swallowed. Maybe it finally let go. Lillian, however, did not look relieved. She knelt, placing a hand on the soil. No house just vanishes. Not like this. Not unless the consciousness it was built from fully disintegrated. She looked up, which means the imprint didn't escape. We truly ended it. Ethan let a wave of relief wash over him. It was over. He turned towards Sarah, who was already looking at him, eyes soft, trembling with leftover fear and overwhelming gratitude. "Come here," she whispered. He did. She wrapped her arms around him and held him as though anchoring herself to reality. Ethan felt her breath shake. "I thought I lost you," over and over again. "I kept thinking, what if you didn't come back this time?" He rested his forehead against hers. "You kept me here. Every time. You were the one thing the creature couldn't take from me." Rowan sniffed loudly. "Okay, all right. That's sweet and touching and all that. But can we maybe save the romance for after we confirm we're not hallucinating inside another dimensions?" Ethan laughed despite himself. Lillian stood. "He's right about one thing, we're not done yet. Not until we're sure the world is stable." Sarah frowned. "Stable? What do you mean?" Lillian lifted the lantern, or rather the extinguished shell of it. "This lantern only goes dark for one reason, when it has no more enemies to sense." Ethan nodded slowly. "So that's good." "Yes." Lillian hesitated. "But it also means the gateway between worlds has sealed completely. Whatever was inside the creature, the imprint, the echoes, it cannot return. But neither can we go back if anything was left unresolved inside." A heavy silence fell. Rowan broke it first. "Well, good news. We resolved literally everything." Ethan punched his evil self in the soul. The rest exploded. "House is gone. We're alive. I say we go celebrate with pancakes." Sarah smiled, shaking her head. "Rowan." Ethan stood, stretching stiff muscles. "Actually, pancakes sound incredible right now." They turned to leave the clearing, but Ethan stopped. Something was wrong. Too quiet, too still, too watchful. His chest tightened. He scanned the trees. The forest was normal, but his instinct screamed otherwise. Sarah noticed his shift. "What is it?" Ethan tried to explain the indescribable. "It feels like the silence after a scream." Rowan froze. That doesn't sound like breakfast vibes." Lillian lowered her lantern. "Describe it." Ethan took a breath. "When we were inside the creature, the deeper we went, the more I felt this pressure, like being observed. That pressure is gone now, but something else is here." They exchanged uneasy glances. Then a twig snapped behind them. Everyone whipped around. The forest was empty, but the mark on Ethan's neck left from the creature's early influence began to sting. Sarah grabbed his arm. "Ethan, what's happening?" He winced. "I don't know." It's another snap. This time from the left. Rowan stepped closer to Lillian. "Tell me you have a backup lantern, a glow stick, a candle." "I'll take a lighter at this point." Lillian frowned deeply. There shouldn't be anything left. The imprint was the last fragment. Unless... Ethan's breath hitched. "Unless something escaped before the final collapse." Sarah whispered. "You think there's another Peace. Lillian didn't answer. The silence answered for her. The trees began to shiver, not from wind, from movement. Ethan felt it first, a pull, weak but familiar, a whisper brushing the back of his mind. Athan. He stiffened. No, that's impossible. I killed it. I killed the imprint. Lillian's eyes widened. Then what you're hearing isn't the creature. It's something else. Rowan raised both hands. Nope, absolutely not. I reject that. I reject the entire concept. Sarah grabbed Ethan's hands. Look at me, right here, right now. Tell me what you feel. He forced words out. It's not pulling me, just calling, like a memory or a remnant. Suddenly, a figure stepped out from the tree line. Sarah gasped. Rowan cursed. Lillian stepped in front of them. Ethan froze. The figure was a woman, tall, thin, hair tangled, wearing a torn nightgown covered in dust. Her skin looked pale, almost translucent, her eyes empty but aware. Ethan knew that face. He'd seen it in the creature's memories. Sarah whispered, "That's the woman who was trapped in the wall." And she nodded, slowly, deliberately. Ethan's blood went cold. Lillian whispered, horrified, "No, she shouldn't exist outside the mindscape. She was a soul fragment, an echo. She can't." The woman lifted a shaking hand and pointed at Ethan. Her voice cracked like dry leaves. "You freed me. Yeah." But something else woke up when the house died. Ethan took a step forward despite Sarah's grip. What woke up? The woman trembled violently. Her eyes widened in terror. Then she uttered two words. Not the creature. The forest went dead silent. Then a roar shook the ground. Deep, ancient, older than Windmere House, older than the creature itself. The woman's voice broke. The thing that created it. And the trees behind her split open. Something enormous surged forward. Light died. The ground shuddered. Ethan grabbed Sarah and Rowan grabbed Lillian as the forest exploded around them. A new terror had awakened. One older, one stronger. One that Windmere House had been hiding, not creating. And the final nightmare was only beginning. The roar that shook the forest did not sound like anything born of nature. It was deeper, older, as if the ground itself were remembering a nightmare it had buried for centuries. Ethan staggered back, gripping Sarah's arm as loose soil vibrated beneath their feet. The trees bowed away from the sound, bending unnaturally, their trunks creaking in agonized protest. The woman in the nightgown, the one who had once been trapped in the wall, stood trembling, barely able to hold herself upright, her pale face twisted with terror as she repeated the words that froze the air around them. Not the creature, something older, something that created it. Before Ethan could ask anything, the forest split open. A fissure ripped across the ground, tearing through roots and stone. Trees toppled as the soil caved inward, revealing a vast hollow chamber beneath the forest floor. A breath rolled out hot, ancient, metallic like air escaping a sealed tomb. And then the shadow rose. Not a shape, Not a beast, a presence. A massive silhouette formed within the fissure, its outline shifting like smoke struggling to remember solid form. It towered higher than any tree, its edges rippling in and out of existence, as if the world could not decide whether to fully reveal it. Sarah whispered, "Ethan, what is that?" He couldn't breathe long enough to answer. Lillian stared, horrified. The creature we fought was only a construct, a house built from stolen minds. But this is the architect, Rowan blurted. Why is the architect awake now? The woman in the nightgown answered with a voice cracked by fear. Because you destroyed its vessel, and without its prison. It rises. The shadow leaned forward, its massive form blotting out the morning sun. Light dimmed. The forest shifted into twilight. A low growl rolled through the clearing, rattling the marrow in Ethan's bones. He felt pressure behind his eyes, like fingers pushing into his thoughts. "Sarah," he gasped. "It's trying to look inside my mind." She cupped his face instantly. "Stay with me. Don't let it in." The presence pushed harder. Sarah's voice steadied him. Ethan clung to it like a lifeline. The shadow extended something that might have been an arm or a pillar. The ground beneath it cracked, glowing with ancient sigils that pulsed in a deep crimson light. Lillian stepped forward, raising her extinguished lantern. Though dark, it throbbed faintly, reacting to the entity's presence. "This is no longer a creature of memory," she whispered. "This is a creator, a god of rooms and labyrinths." Rowan choked on his words. "Not divine," Lillian said, "just ancient, born from a time before the world chose its shape." The shadow's form sharpened suddenly. It had eyes, two colossal, dim embers burned in the blackness, void-like, yet aware. They locked onto Ethan first. Something cold sliced through him. A whisper curled into his mind. "You!" The broken key. He staggered as the voice shook the earth itself. Sarah wrapped her arms around him. "Stay here. Stay with me." The forest shook violently. Trees uprooted, stone split. The woman in the nightgown screamed as she fell to her knees. "It is searching," she cried, "searching for what the house lost." Lillian's face tightened. "Ethan, it means the imprint. It can sense that you destroyed it." The shadow roared, sending a blast of wind across the clearing. Rowan shielded Lillian as the shockwave hurled debris into the air. Ethan forced himself upright. "It wants to rebuild the imprint, but it can't." "I ended it." Lillian's eyes widened. "Exactly. That means you are now the last surviving link to what it created." Sarah grabbed Ethan's hand tightly. "You are not going anywhere near that thing." But the shadow moved. It lifted one massive limb, placing it onto the edge of the fissure. The impact shook the world like a falling mountain. Soil sank, roots snapped, birds burst from the trees in panicked flight. Then it climbed out. Its full form emerged titanic, skeletal yet shifting, like architecture given life. Corridors spiraled across its limbs like veins. Door-shaped gaps ran along its torso. Its face was a jagged mask of shifting rooms, each window a hollow eye. Ethan whispered, "It looks like the house." "No," Lillian corrected softly. "The house looked like it." The Titan leaned forward. "One step, 2. The forest collapsed under its weight. Reality around it bent, as though the world struggled to support something so ancient. Rowan shouted, "We need to move." They sprinted as the Titan drew its towering form fully into daylight. The sky dimmed to a bruised violet. The ground trembled so hard, Ethan nearly fell. Sarah supported him. "Come on, don't stop." Lillian ran beside them, lantern glowing brighter with every step. "It's reacting. It knows this thing should not exist. How do we kill it?" Rowan yelled. "We don't," Lillian answered. "We escape." But the Titan was faster. Its massive arms slammed down, splitting the ground ahead of them into floating slabs. The forest floor rose and fell like a sea in a storm. Ethan looked back and froze. The Titan was watching him, not them. Him! Sarah pulled his arm. "Ethan, don't stop, run." But he couldn't move. The Titan whispered again, its voice echoing like collapsing hallways. "Key of the broken house. Come to me." A pull tugged at him, stronger than anything the creature had ever done. His vision blurred. His feet slid toward the Titan involuntarily. Sarah screamed, "Ethan, no." She wrapped her arms around him, anchoring him. Rowan and Lillian grabbed her, all three pulling with everything they had. Ethan choked, fighting the pull with every last shred of will. Lillian shouted through the chaos, "It cannot fully control him." The bond was severed. "Ethan, you must resist." He roared back, voice breaking. "I'm trying." The Titan's eyes flared, windows across its body glowing with sinister red light. The pull intensified, ripping soil from the ground and drawing leaves, stones, and branches into a spiraling vortex around it. Sarah held Ethan tighter. "Listen to me. Look at me. Stay here. Stay here with me." And Ethan did. He locked onto her eyes, warm, terrified, determined. The pull weakened just enough. The Titan bellowed in frustration. The sound obliterated the treetops. The woman in the nightgown screamed, covering her ears as she collapsed. It grows impatient. It cannot find what it wants. It wants the door. The door that opens worlds. Lillian gasped. The imprint was meant to become that door. Rowan shouted, "But the imprint is dead. Ethan killed it. So what now?" Lillian's face drained of color. "Now, it will try to use Ethan instead." Before Rowan could curse, the Titan thrust both arms forward. The ground cracked open, shooting jagged roots upward. One root caught Ethan's leg, pulling him off balance. Sarah screamed, "No!" The Titan roared, and the world shattered into blinding light. The white light swallowed everything. It wasn't a flash, it was a flood, a rising ocean of brilliance that tore the world apart at its seams. Ethan felt himself weightless, drifting somewhere between existence and oblivion. He tried to call out, but the light devoured sound before it could leave his mouth. Then he fell. Hard air punched from his lungs as he hit solid ground. The brightness receded like a retreating tide, revealing a fractured landscape beneath him. It looked like a room except stretched miles wide, walls curving into impossible angles, floors suspended in floating plates of stone and wood. Doors hung midair like broken teeth, windows opened into nothing. This wasn't the forest. This was a place between places, a realm of the Creator. Ethan, Sarah's voice cracked as she stumbled into view, landing beside him. Rowan slammed down moments later, skidding across a floating slab of floorboard. Lillian appeared last, her lantern glowing faintly again, reactivated by the impossible energy saturating this place. Ethan sat up, dizzy. Where are we? Lillian's face was pale. Inside the Creator's domain, the space it occupies when it does not fully manifest in the real world. Rowan groaned. So we're in what? The attic of a cosmic monster. Not an attic, Lillian whispered. A throne room. A low rumble answered her. The floating walls trembled as shadows massed overhead, coalescing into the gigantic silhouette of the Creator. Its form here was vivid, sharpened its limbs carved from corridors, its ribs shaped like rows of doors, its head a cathedral of rooms stacked impossibly atop one another. Its eyes burned brighter than before, twin furnaces of crimson, ancient and hungry. The voice that followed did not echo, it detonated. You destroyed my house. You destroyed my vessel. But you cannot destroy me. Ethan staggered as the air vibrated. Sarah grabbed his arm to steady him. Lillian raised her lantern. Don't listen to it. It feeds on fear. But the Titan focused solely on Ethan. The imprint is gone. The chosen vessel broken. So you will become my door. Ethan felt the pull again, stronger than before. A psychic gravity dragging him toward the Titan's colossal form. Sarah threw her arms around him. No, you're not taking him. Rowan grabbed Ethan's other arm. Back off, you overgrown toolbox. But the force increased. Floating platforms snapped and spiraled toward the Titan. Doors swung open, emitting winds that screamed like living things. The sky above fractured into panes of glass, filled with shifting images, memories the Titan had stolen over centuries. Some images were Ethan's, some were the woman in the wall, some belonged to creatures that had no human shape at all. The Titan leaned closer. The key returns to the hand that made it. Ethan felt something tear inside his skull, a thread of memory yanked taut. No stop, he gasped. Sarah pressed her forehead to his. Stay with me, Ethan. Listen, listen. The pull weakened. The Titan roared. The entire dimension shook violently. Floating platforms crashed into each other, exploding into splinters of wood and stone. Rowan and Lillian dodged a rain of debris. We can't fight this thing, Rowan shouted. We're like ants trying to wrestle a skyscraper. Lillian closed her eyes, gripping the lantern with both hands. The lantern is reacting. It knows how to defend against entities of consciousness. I just don't know how to activate it fully. The Titan raised an arm. A corridor-length limb swung down toward them like a collapsing building. Sarah screamed, "Move!" They leapt just in time. The impact shattered the floor, hurling Ethan and Sarah across the platform until they hit a floating staircase leading nowhere. Ethan's ribs screamed in pain. The Titan's voice returned, cold and final. You cannot run from the architect. It reached again. Ethan pushed Sarah behind him. I won't let you control me. You were always mine. The Titan thundered. "No," Ethan growled. "I was its prisoner. I am not yours." The Titan reacted violently. A shockwave blasted outward. Floating doors flew open, releasing torrents of black mist that formed creatures, a horde of twisting shapes, faceless bodies, and crawling limbs. They poured across the broken platforms toward the group. Rowan yelled, "Oh, come on, shadow zombies." Again, Lillian raised the lantern. This time it glowed brighter, much brighter. She realized something. "Ethan, the lantern responds to you." "What? Why me?" "Because the imprint was part of you. Its destruction changed you. You carry the residue of its consciousness. The lantern sees you as the antidote." Ethan stared at the lantern. The lantern stared back, its flame swirling white-hot. Lillian thrust it into his hands. Sarah gasped. "But he can't." The moment the lantern touched Ethan's palms, a blinding light ignited. The Titan recoiled, roaring in pain for the first time. "Impossible. The key cannot hold the light. The key cannot." Ethan felt something awaken inside him. Not the creature, not the imprint. Something else. His own will, his own strength. He stepped forward, raising the lantern. Light burst from it in cascading arcs, vaporizing the approaching shadow creatures instantly. Rowan cheered. "Bro, you're like Ethan the White now." Ethan ignored him, focused entirely on the Titan. "You don't control me anymore," he said, "and you never will." The Titan screamed, a sound like collapsing universes. Platform after platform shattered, walls bent inward. The entire realm began folding in on itself. Lillian screamed above the chaos. "Ethan, you're weakening it. Keep going." The lantern's light intensified, becoming a beam that cut into the Titan's chest. Its architectural form cracked rooms splitting open, corridors snapping like brittle bone. The Titan lurched back. "This is not the end. You cannot end what has no beginning." Ethan took another step. The lantern burned like a star. "This ends now." He unleashed everything, every fear, every memory, every ounce of defiance into the lantern's light. The Titan convulsed. Its form ruptured. Rooms collapsed inward. Doors shattered. The crimson eyes flickered, and the creator exploded into a storm of black dust. Silence fell. The realm collapsed around them, platforms dissolving into white. Sarah grabbed Ethan's hand. Rowan grabbed Lillian's. The last thing Ethan heard was Sarah whispering, "Please come back to me." And the world turned to light again. The blast of white light dissolved, peeling away like burning paper. Ethan felt his body reform, first breath, then heartbeat, then weight beneath his feet. He staggered forward, blinking rapidly as colors bled back into the world. He was standing in the forest, the real forest. Morning sunlight filtered through the canopy once more. Birds sang, leaves swayed gently in the breeze. The world was not broken, twisted, or suspended in impossible geometry. It was whole. Sarah stumbled into him, nearly collapsing from exhaustion. He caught her instantly. "Ethan," she choked, gripping the fabric of his shirt. "Please, please tell me it's over." Ethan looked around. No floating platforms, no fractured sky, no doors suspended midair. The Titan, its corridors, its burning eyes gone. "It's over," he whispered. "We made it back." Rowan whooped somewhere behind them. "Yes, I can feel actual dirt." I can smell real trees. No more cosmic IKEA monsters. Lillian stood nearby, head bowed slightly as she inspected the lantern. For the first time since they began this nightmare, the lantern did not glow, flicker, or hum. It sat silently in her palm, nothing more than ordinary metal and glass. "It's empty," she murmured, completely discharged. Whatever force once powered it is gone. Sarah sagged into Ethan. "Like the creature, like the imprint." Ethan nodded slowly. "And like the creator." He didn't say it out loud. The fear that naming it might bring it back still clung to his thoughts, but relief washed over him all the same. They began walking toward the forest path, sunlight growing warmer with each step. Rowan rambled about pancakes and hot showers. Sarah stayed close at Ethan's side, her hand wrapped firmly around his. Lillian, however, lagged behind. Ethan noticed. "You okay?" She hesitated before answering. "There's something strange." Rowan groaned. "No, no more strange. We used up our strange quota for the next 5 lifetimes." But Lillian wasn't joking. She pointed to the ground where Windmere House once stood. Grass now grew, fresh, bright green grass. No burn marks, no debris, no crater. It was as if the house never existed, as if the world erased it completely. Ethan felt a chill. Sarah whispered, "Maybe that's good. Maybe it means everything is healed." Lillian shook her head. "Or it means reality corrected itself after the creator was destroyed. It was never meant to be here." Ethan stared at the empty clearing. For the first time, the silence felt peaceful. But then, a whisper touched the back of his mind. Not the creature, not the imprint, not the creator. A memory. Sarah's voice echoed gently. "Listen to me. Stay here. Stay with me." He exhaled, letting tension spill from his shoulders. They were alive. They had made it through. Lillian spoke softly. "We should go. Whatever was tied to this place, it's finished." Rowan waved an arm. Finally, breakfast time. The group walked toward the road, but Ethan paused once more, staring back at the clearing. The wind rustled through the grass like a final goodbye. He whispered, "It's over." A warmth pressed against his arm. "Sarah." She smiled softly. "Then let's go home." Ethan nodded, and together, under the gentle sun, they walked out of the forest for the last time. The story ends here. Thank you for watching and listening to the whole story. Please subscribe to the channel and turn on the bell to listen to the next stories.